nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to 420.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Mud Zone.
Spooky.
Wanna get high? Wanna get high?
Wanna get high? Wanna get high?
Was that a party or?
Ho, ho, ho.
The world is flat. I'm here to ring the alarm with my puppet like charm, straight from the barn. I'm talking about Flat Earth Farms, cause most don't know. They think we live on a globe, a ball that floats. So listen and take notes, and take it to a higher plane. Imagine yourself in all it contains, in all its glory and flair. Flat Earth Farms can take you there. Open your mind outside the box. No more staring at NASA's Photoshop. No more moon landings, no line to ya. No more people standing backwards in Australia. Just facts and pure truth, planning straight to the roots. Flat Earth Farms help you understand. A magical place on a wondrous land.
The world is flat, and that's a fact. Tell your friends next time you chat. Let them know a ball ain't that. Unless they playing with the baseball bat. Cause we coming out the barn, a higher place. The Flat Earth Farms.
be it, Harry. Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon!
Not out there on the microphone. On the microphone.
Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
What are we gonna do tonight, Singe Man?
The same thing we do every night, Boston Ray. Try to take over the world.
The world of science cares about you. Eureka! We found it. With the tools of science, we have invented, yes, hand sanitizer. But not just any hand sanitizer. This hand sanitizer was developed and approved by the Dark One himself. Here are a few of the things our product can bring you.
Sir, bow wow run, he's my mighty puppy. Sir, bow wow run, he's my mighty puppy. Sir, bow wow run, he's my mighty puppy. Sir, bow wow. Mud. You slept. Warning, the self-destruct system has been activated. Option to override self-destruct expires in 10 minutes.
Listen, Rogie, I think it's about time we spoke that godly shit. Maybe interest some folk, or maybe not. Listen, command the room when I'm stepping in. A giant over next to kin is a Nephilim, or the Nephilim, something you've never seen. Like Adam and Eve, no leaves, Harold pressing jeans. What? I represent the bread and beans, still building halfway up on the mezzanine. Dare to dream, Prime Pablo running Medellin. Shave also from a product, my ads and fiends. Yeah, without a cane, cause I'm more than able to Jesus tread on the water when my thoughts enabled. And when I'm talking my rhymes, divine course through my spine. Miracles occur, turning water to wine. I flock the sheep, receive messages like Moses did at a precipice. And now until I exit this, I'll bless with rhetoric, give light like God in Genesis, removing pain and pestilence. Nostalgia make your reminisce.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The devil's trying to break me down. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. To right my wrong. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. When my feet get weary, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death is
magnificent space dweller. Pinpoint the vital nerve. White lotus, guillotine blade. I smoke island herb. Drop a brick on your fitted and tilt your whole way of living. Victorious vision, undetected hypnotism, $1,000 Alps, mountain jumpsuit, all terrain, glaciers and altitude. This is how you jump through. Legend on the pop up. Don't get shot, cause you know the guy got nuts to open your top. Take a number. What all the other bitter backbiters? Johnny come latelys who hate me because I'm brighter. For all the spades in my deck of cards, eat it like a broke nigga staring at a necklace hard. This the type of shit to get me charged. To make a pilgrim wanna invest 50 large, my shit's retard. Frankenstein rhyme, electrical volts. PA, you know the MO, the message is bolts. Toast.
Godly, time to listen up and hear the God speak. Move alone, don't need a boss. Strike you down, bolt a lightning if you cross me. When you cross streets, don't believe it, they just watch me. Even when the dark was upon me, the more godly, I kept faith, remain godly. If we don't remove evil, the clouds swarms me. Could be costly, swap the boss, or just be marked with beats.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The devil's trying to break me down. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. To right my wrong. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. When my feet get weary, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death is.
Stop knocking at my. Stop knocking at my. Stop knocking at my door.
Well.
There ain't no hell down there. Hell is right here where we at. The devil is walking amongst us every day.
Yo, this the motherfucking last days. Grave robbers, alien saucers, ancient sorcerers with blazing katanas. Blaze the guns into a black plague. Martyr, savior, imposters, praise, blood, bathed in tanks of piranhas. Another slaughter in the rat race. Ace, knots, bangers, and coppers. Disgrace the Lord and put their faith in the dollar. Forsaken God just for the cash chase. Ain't no problems spraying with shoppers and raging gauntlets. This gangsters, jobbers. Hey yo, my Tribosaurus formed of the spinal cord of a dinosaur. Dwarven iron forges inside the core where the fire roars. Bounty cash stacked from the Saudis, half phallus, the Crowley, half valley, Hydro Jodorowsky, Southeast crown priest, baron of the land, devil man, last samurai, cannons in Japan, go sick, methadone shits with silicone tits, torture body, then we party like it's episode 6. Yo, I'm caught between Heartless Fiend and God of Kings, Golem's ring, blow you to a water meat like Aquatine, send it to Palpatine, I got a cult of personality, my alchemy, I'll be reality. This existence is fictitious, a simulation. Regenerated wicked visions of a sinner sanctum. Recruiting mutants, now I'm Charles Xavier. Crusading like Boris in Arabia.
Cannibal Cannibal Hulkamania, make Jeffrey Dahmer into shawarma. The Unabomber build pyramids from human karma. And from the diamond crowns of dead emperors, rising crowns begin to roar like an inferno that could turn to war. Meanwhile, we dedicate and medicate ourselves. Swear we gonna save the world, but we can't even save ourselves. Ain't nobody's fault though, we can't even blame ourselves. We just charge us to the game and rock everything on 12. I'm like a cross between Tommy Lee, Socrates, and Chopper Reed. Now put that in your pipe and smoke a cock or three. Been the truth since Jay sounded like lots of effects have been set. Way before Nas, the hip hop was dead. My killers look like Phil Collins, real problems in the air of the night. My goons transform the goblins. And you don't want to smoke with the hoe, cause I'm a real life cannibal that got my own clothes. Fuck
last days. Grave robbers, alien sauces, ancient sorcerers with blazing katanas. Blaze the guns into a black plague. Martyr, savior, imposters, brains, blood, bathed in tanks of piranhas. Another slaughter in the rat race. Eight stocks, bangers, and coppers. Disgrace the Lord and put their faith in the dollar. Forsaken God just for the cash chase. Ain't no problems spraying with shoppers and raging gauntlets. The stakes is jobbers.
Marsh pit symphonies, center of the chaos, pushing to the limit.
It's funny how the money make them gangsters and goblins.
Marsh pit symphonies, center of the chaos, pushing to the limit.
It's funny how the money make them gangsters and goblins.
They say less is more, but we believe more is more.
Yeah. Phil House. Let's go.
They don't call it work for nothing. You see that shit and wanna be it, but couldn't cook up the mustard. Stupid little fucker. Everybody wanna rap now, but jump ship when they get bad, then they fall back to the bag room. Try and spit for groupies, you ain't built for this kid, you pussy. I pick them off like Billy Zane, fuck your bitch like Billie Jean. Till she claims she caught my seed and leave your ass for bigger things. That fat lady built in front of the balcony. It's over for any clown that wanna challenge me. Every line's another Calvary, followed up with powder cakes. Hang them in my gallery, posterized like out in history. Eat foods like calories, vagabonds, I'm Jack the Ripper. You love that trick, dog, and I barely tip her. Fuck around and play the skipper. Fickle frauds can kiss the zipper. Skip around with a stick so big from home plate I can hit the pitcher. Every single day I'm on my grind on the business end. Every other day you in the line like you killing shit. Then there come a day when I put you out your misery. Go on, catch that fade, motherfucker. Think I'm playing with you, yeah, they acting gay for attention, that's ridiculous. You look like a lady with that choker chain like he a stripper. I'm just to chill with the aristocrats. Cop a deal from South and Salad, pop a pill and rocks and blasts is going down like Richie Valens. I can stand on my own too, the whole truth, fuck you, pavement. Yeah. And ain't shit that you gon' do, your whole crew can catch that facelift. I tell them like, move, you better back up. Bitch, we some inglorious bastards. The faculty charged up an assault and battery with battering rams strapped to cannons that'll reach North Korea.
Here we go again. Check it out. Yo, these mean streets is ice cold and callous. Where malice is blind, it lays waste to talented minds. I used to switch the cap off a bottle of Valentine and take another swig for every fallen pal of mine. Till my 40s was backwash and bottles was broken. Sniffing 40s and sacks off the side of a token. Now you boys better back off, don't try to provoke them. I put holes in your jacket, oh fuck the side of it soaking. Might of a sultan, it's a sight of a fighter revolting. The vibes of the rebel, look into the eyes of the devil, incite and insult them. You go see the sides of the metal, the hole you falling in, the dirt spilling from the side of the shovel. In summation, I done run around the nation now, all the way to Russia. Now they wanna rush him and try to take him down. I move mountains to make it happen, you feel the shaking ground. You ain't understood it, so I guess I better break it down. These dudes try taking my spot. They wanna come and take what I got. I ain't getting beat up a shot. These dudes try taking my spot. They wanna come and take what I got. I ain't getting beat up a shot. It ain't happening now.
I'm in the crib tripping and rolling, sniffing and smoking. Outside the pigs are patrolling, so picture this moment. Got a loaded gun, holding funds. Bunch of stolen ones, a brick stack of Benjamins, Molly, Bacardi, Coke and rum. Headphones on, a hot beat, the drop heat. Grab my notebook, then I proceed to rock geek. This is my chance. Got a pistol in hand, shit on your mans, dissing them scrams. Keep listening, fam, ripping the jam. So easy the kids understand. I'm the illest, so damn real. Make you piss in your pants. I'm the yard boy, got the whole world at my front door. I want more money, that's what I come for. Run yours, arms acrobatic in action. Monster madman, mathematics, I'm mashing. Earth the heat and disturbed. 30 heat in my word. Early chief in the herb degrees, 33 in the third. These fools wanna fall like they hard. They wanna take mines and get large. Wanna step foot in my yard. These fools wanna fall like they hard. They wanna take mines and get large. Wanna step foot in my yard.
Niggas disco rapping like Gloria Gaynor while I splash the ink like a Renaissance painter. It's insane paragraphs stuck in my brain. I stretch out the canvas and staple a frame and pass it like a no-look. The gallery's my notebook where every single rhyme is tainted. This lead in the paint, ain't it? Amazing what I do with big pens. Van Gogh, Starry Night painted again. I spit 16s in the chapel. Michelangelo painted the apple that Eve bit. This is real shit, so slide with me like the serpent in the garden. Beg your pardon, I watch how the human heart hardens. I drop the bargains, dollar in the dream. Still tote max strapped with infrared beams. Real as it seems, most niggas is fake. And them niggas that you talking to could be the fucking Jake. So
these fools wanna fall like they hard. They wanna take mines and get large. Wanna step foot in my yard. These fools wanna fall like they hard. They wanna take mines and get large. Wanna step foot in my yard.
Have you been feeling sad most of the time, losing interest in things you once cared about?
Word, you going city boy.
going on? You back up here? Is that Primus is over? Bum, 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 bum. Howdy, can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I cannot hear you. Test. Test. My stuff's working. Boom, baby. Yours is not. Let's see. Volume is 100%. Sorry. Maybe I have to go back out and come back in because I can't hear you.
Wait.
Wait. Okay, I cannot hear you. Now, chat, can you hear Ray or can you hear Cinch? Howdy, y'all. How y'all doing there? Warriors. This is Sparta. Here we have cold. How do you people like this? Hot, cold. It's 39 degrees. Shut everything down. We are gonna die. It's unusually cool, and of course, on fire. Wait, what's down there? I can't read that one. It says, I can't read that one. Can you guys read it?
Now?
There you go.
Nice.
Nancy, what was wrong with the sound?
Wow, that's very loud. I'll turn down.
You're the one who turned the shit up like an asshole.
No, I mean, you just yelled at me.
Fuck you, Cinch, man.
I'll turn it down. Turn everything down. You're fucking up so bad that you make me look like I am. But the whole time, it's you. Now, I go through life like this, and I realize I'm not a genius, but the people around me make it seem as if I am. Okay, there we go.
Hey, I love your background. So basically, all right. So what's going on? It's Hoth up where I'm at. It's cold. Yes. It's cold like down.
You know what Hoth is, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
Star Wars.
Thanks, Obama, for Florida. right. And then it's on fire in California. You cold up there, and usually cold. And then what? It's 39 degrees. Shut everything down. We're gonna die. What? They panic when it gets 39 degrees there?
Yes, they are Texas.
I don't know.
They have.
I never been there.
Right now, LA's getting really cold weather.
Yeah.
What did they get? Is it?
It's cold here. It's snowy. There's ice on the ground.
They were. I don't know if that happened, but listen, they were.
I don't know if you guys can see the snow outside the window.
Blizzard-like weather in late February in LA. That's unheard of in the past 54 years of my life.
Unheard of. Like never even heard about.
Not even thought of. It's silly. It's LA. It's hot. It gets rainy and a little bit chilly in the evening.
What is going on?
We got Jason Starr.
I know you're getting ready. I know you're getting ready for the Sunday morning show.
Well, actually, I'm making something for Jason Starr. I'm making a disclaimer for him. That's funny. I'm gonna make I don't know, robots walking around. I don't know, something funny.
Do something.
I haven't
Just
figured it out
don't.
yet.
I wouldn't say it out loud. I would just keep it.
Well, I know, but I don't care. No one can copy me, and if they do, that'd be great because plagiarism is the highest form of flattery.
Keep telling yourself that. Maybe,
Say what?
Whatever makes you feel better.
It is. You're not an artist. If you were plagiarized, you're like, yeah. Plus, if someone plagiarizes you, then you can call them on it, and they look like a fool. And so no one does that. It's very rare these days. People art.
I stay original. I like to try to stay original as much as possible, but
unless they're making millions of dollars, no one.
I enjoy other people's music too. I don't know.
Now, if they do make millions of dollars off my art, awesome, because that means I'm going to be getting all of that plus more.
So basically, your art is going to make you filthy, stinking rich.
No. Yes,
No.
actually,
No.
spiritually.
Is it or not? Yes or no? You said yes and then no. Yes and no. That's
Not
both?
monetarily rich. Yes, spiritually rich. Listen,
spiritually filthy, spiritually rich.
I already am actually. So it won't. I won't. It'll continue to keep me rich spiritually.
So if you won $1 million overnight, it wouldn't change you at all.
A little bit, but not too much. I've already had a lot of money in my life.
You'd still be the same Singe man.
No,
You'd still drive the same car. You'd still drive the same car.
No, I'd get the newest version of Subaru's car.
Yeah, what is it?
The best one they have. I don't know.
But you
buy
like
one that's not electric too.
They do last a long time, dude. Them Subarus. Sponsored by Subaru.
Yeah. You can send us some money anytime. We're sitting over here waiting for the check.
Suzanne, let me know when that Subaru check comes in.
Yeah, I just said snow. We're up north. We do get snow here. Now, LA. Well, let me check what happened in LA. I'll look right now. What is it? The City of Angels or
Bring it
Angel?
up. Bring it up on the screen. What happened in LA? Bring it up on
City
the
of Angels or the City of Angels?
Yeah. Let us know. Show us what's going on in LA, Singe. Show us.
I'm just telling you. Asking you? Is it the City of Angel or the City of Angels?
It's the City of It's the City of Angels.
Right.
Okay.
In this reality,
it is, right?
Angel.
What do you think? I mean, you're from there.
It's angels, but in this reality, it's angel.
It's even now when you go to the actual city, that's what they say.
The song in the City of Angel.
Okay, yeah, the song changed, but what about in the city when you go there? What do they say?
It's Los Angeles. What do they call it?
Yeah, do they still remember the City of Angels, like the people that live there? Or do they all say, hey, it's the City of Angel? Like all the souvenirs say, like Los Angeles, the City of Angel.
Let's see, I think it's City of Angels still.
So it's just a song that changed, not the actual.
Yeah, just the song change. Let's see. How Los Angeles got the City of Angels. Yeah, so it's still called the City of Angels, just the song.
Good. All right, I'm just checking.
Okay, so now back to what was it? Los Angeles. Weather, right? Boom. It's just cold there. It didn't happen what they were expecting.
Really?
It's very cold, 43. It's a little bit colder than normal. But...
Hey, are you gonna do the weather report? Here you go. Go full
No, I
screen.
don't have my green screen.
You have it on. Go ahead. Just point to the map.
No, that's not green screen. See, my head up and see.
It doesn't work.
When I have my green screen, I can watch it.
Well, I don't know.
So no, LA is doing just cold, but they were expecting. I can't talk right now. They were expecting blizzards. Are you gonna play that song I put up?
What song did you put up?
It's left up on YouTube still, but they seem to be not liking it too much. But
yeah, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it because we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. I'll play it. I know it is, but
right.
I don't.
We'll have to play it another night.
Yeah, we'll play it at night when we're not gonna leave the stream up. Well, we're gonna put on Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just poking around here for a second. Ooh.
Now he has a new one.
Here we go. What's this? Look at this. This looks kind of cool. I don't know. This looks cool. If it's not cool, I don't know. Mass grave of ancient dwarves.
No one's breaking out the firmament.
Mass grave of ancient
This is
dwarves.
firmament. No one's breaking out here, chap. I suggest that you kick back. Stop talking about that NASA crap. You look like you've been smoking crack. No one's breaking out the firmament.
Turns out that, anthropologically speaking, it seems that our planet has had a far more diverse history than many of us previously believed. Well, I've already.
All right, let's see what he says.
It is estimated that there were about 7.
All right, let's go back.
Position
I don't,
in the description.
I don't want to hear about the planet.
No longer makes the evening news, but at some point in time seemed to be openly discussed and even common knowledge. In the early 1800s, a rash of news stories began appearing in Nashville and Middle Tennessee newspapers regarding the discovery on Middle Tennessee farms of pygmy graves. Through the process of plowing, or by erosion, farmers and landowners had discovered small graves, rustic rectangular stone boxes or sarcophagi, approximately 2 feet long, 14 inches wide, and 16 inches deep. Cherokee folklore seemed to confirm the existence of the pygmies, with their belief in a race of little people, a topic that I covered in a video called Mystery of the Moon-Eyed People. There should be a link to it in the description section. Curious experts came to Nashville to investigate the grave sites, examine the bones, and offer explanations. Farmers began probing their properties with metal rods, stabbing the earth in search of hard stone lids. This historic newspaper article about Tennessee pygmy graves from Woodbury Press was republished in 1877 in the Journal of the Royal Anthropological Institute of Great Britain and Ireland, Volume 6. A pygmy graveyard in Tennessee. An ancient graveyard of vast proportions has been found in Coffee County. It is similar to those found in White County and other places in Middle Tennessee, but is vastly more extensive and shows that the race of pygmies who once inhabited this county were very numerous. The same peculiarities of position observed in the White County graves are found in these. The writer of the letter says, quote, "Some considerable excitement and curiosity took place a few days since, near Hillsborough, Coffee County, on James Brown's farm. A man was plowing in a field which had been cultivated many years and plowed up a man's skull and other bones. After making further examination, they found that there were about 6 acres in the graveyard. They were buried in a sitting or standing position. The bones showed that they were a dwarf tribe of people about 3 feet high. It is estimated that there were about 75,000 to 100,000 buried there. This shows that this county was inhabited hundreds of years ago. This ancient pygmy race is a worldwide phenomenon, both archaeologically and in myth and folklore. The Irish have their leprechauns, the Nordic people have their gnomes and elves, and many other societies and cultures share similar legends and stories. What makes these ancient burial sites in Tennessee so interesting is the abundance of articles that were published, which, like the many dozens of articles I covered regarding ancient giant skeletons discovered in the many Native American mounds, there's still a newspaper trail regarding this pygmy race, even if organizations like the Smithsonian deny their existence. This article was published in 1820 in the Nashville Whig. One of the most persistent and widely published tales about Tennessee prehistory concerns cemeteries of diminutive stone-lined graves containing the remains of a primordial pygmy race. In July 1820, the Nashville Whig published an account of these mysterious remains, describing in detail the discovery of hundreds of diminutive graves on several farms near Sparta in Wine County, Tennessee. On the farm of Turner Lane, 5 miles southeast of Sparta, on the waters of Caney Fork in Cumberland, and on other farms adjacent, have lately been found small graves sunk into the earth from 1 foot to 18 inches below the surface.
Told you, this is Sparta.
Having a flag limestone rock at each of the ends and sides, and covered with the same species of rock. In these graves are found skull bones, about 3 inches in diameter, nearly sound, the other bones being proportionately small. Between 200 and 300 of these graves have been discovered. In every tomb yet open was found a small black earthen pot, about 1 pint in capacity, containing a small conch shell, undecayed, of a gray color on the exterior and red within, and as transparent as this species of shell is usually found. The pot, when broken, exhibits numerous white specks of round shining particles. At Mr. Anderson's, 2.5 miles in southwesterly direction from the farm of Mr. Lane, were found other skeletons of the same dimensions, in tombs constructed upon the same plan and of similar materials. One at least, it is said, was observed to have teeth and all the bones belonging to the human body. Mr. Lane, who's a man of observation, gives it as his decided opinion that these are the skeletons of adult persons. He founds his opinion upon the solidity of the bones and the heads, and also upon the fact of the sutures of the skulls being entirely closed and solid. The trees growing where they were found are as of great size and age as any in the surrounding forest. The small graves at Mr. Lane's are arranged, but at Mr. Anderson's there's a large burying ground full of them without any order as to position. That the bones are human, Mr. Lane thinks there can be no doubt, and that they are not the bones of children, he thinks unquestionable. The rocks which enclose them are thin blue limestone, and not of that neighborhood originally, all of the limestone in the vicinity being of a gray color. Here is a mystery that baffles conjecture, and puts all experience at defiance. The stories of the pygmies of Herodotus, on the borders of Ethiopia and the Red Sea, and those of Homer in India have always been treated.
That's funny, Singe Man, how you were just telling me about the stories of the pygmies and Herodotus in India and Homer and the Red Sea in Ethiopia. We were just talking about that last night. Isn't that such a synchronicity?
Treated as fables, which in the days of those men entered.
Yes, and next we'll talk about the ones in Hawaii.
Not exceeding.
Check out the Hawaii ones next. I'll show you.
Singe Man.
They're across the plain. Not joking. Ireland has leprechauns. Hawaii has these little guys that move rocks. They're Menahians. And people. Wait till you see it. Yes.
Singe Man, I know you have a fucking pygmy somewhere. Stop fucking around. Just cut the shit and fucking get it going, dude.
I like to wear a white suit and a top hat with a cane, and I walk about with my pygmy on a leash.
Yeah,
it's great. That's what rich people do, right?
Singe Man knows about. Singe Man has pygmies, dude.
Build habitations, clear the forest, cultivate the soil, defend themselves against the ravages of the hawk and eagle, the wolf and the panther. The word pygmy derives from the Greek word for a unit of measurement called a cubit. The pygmies of antiquity were believed to be about a cubit or two high, which is 18 to 36 inches tall, so about 2 to 3 feet. Pliny the Elder writes about an ancient war long ago between pygmies living around the Arctic region and cranes, large terrifying birds, which would often steal their young, which if true would explain a lot of the myths about storks seen flying with a baby. He also says that the pygmies were displaced from their ancestral homeland by the unrelenting constant onslaught, locating them between Egypt and Ethiopia, but also having found refuge on the eastern part of the North American continent. Homer's Iliad also mentions a violent war between large deadly cranes and valiant and courageous pygmies, comparing the bloody battles to the war between the Trojans and the Greeks. The pygmies were eventually fractured, reduced to refugee status, and forced into exile. Another Greek author, Antoninus Liberalis, suggested that the Greek gods engineered this conflict as punishment against an immodest and disrespectful queen of the pygmies. According to Aristotle, quote, "The cranes do this, for they travel from Scythia to the marshes in the higher parts of Egypt from which the Nile originates. This is the place where the pygmies dwell, and this is no fable, for there is really, as it is said, a race of dwarfs, both men and horses, which lead the life of troglodytes. Troglodytes means they live in caves. Incidentally, modern African pygmies average around 4.5 feet in height, and genetic sequencing has determined that they have mixed genetics with other archaic hominin species that once lived on the continent. So they're not the same fair-skinned pygmy race depicted by the ancient Greeks, but nearly twice as tall, as the African pygmies are hybridized with one or more archaic African hominin species, most likely Homo erectus. Other clusters were said to have settled in Arctic Canada and the Himalayas and parts of Asia. It's interesting to note the discovery of the 3.5-foot fossil remains of an ancient hominin dubbed the Hobbit, which was found on an island in Indonesia, which some have speculated have also contributed genetics to modern populations. An October 2005 article published by the Circle of Ancient Iranian Studies reported finding the mummified remains of a person of small stature in Iran, which they believe was part of what they call an ancient city of dwarfs. In 2010, Live Science published an article called "Giant Storks May Have Fed on Real Hobbits," describing fossils of giant storks found in Southeast Asia, which may be empirical evidence supporting the ancient myth of the pygmy battles. As for the pygmy race that may have inhabited Tennessee, some have speculated that they have found entrances into the inner earth, large subterranean cave systems below the surface that has fresh flowing rivers filled with oxygen producing algae, fish, and lit by glowing edible lichen and mushrooms, providing a safe refuge from the harsh conditions on the surface. It's an interesting theory, one that I can't prove, but there's no shortage of legends about the inner earth, which allegedly not only is called home by a people of a wide range of heights, from pygmy to giant, but even mammals, reptiles, and birds thought to be extinct long ago on the dangerous surface world that we inhabit. My name is Robert Sepper. I'm an anthropologist. You can find my published books on Amazon.com. They make a great gift.
Go fuck yourself. Well, there you go. If you guys didn't know about the pygmies, now you know about the pygmies. Singeman, what are you up to? All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Anything? Anything good? Anything? I've already seen most of this shit. No. 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 All right. Let's see. Give me a sec. I got something for you.
Earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, now what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, now tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? I thought you knew about it. Would you rather do without it? The earth's a center, the sun and moon moves around it like a clock. Can you hit a moving target with a rocket? I'm not hard to get along with, just take a bong hit. Do you serve up any content? The stars are constant. You want a consolation for it? It makes me vomit. We never do get hit by comments. I know you want it, just leave another useless comment. NASA lost it. The earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? Earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, what you do about it? The earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, now tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. You know it's flat. And there is a bunch of us. The blowies munching on a bunch of snuffleupagus. You think it's cute? Then why not cuddle up with us? We know it's flat. Why you making such a fuss? My supper was the fucking best. That's just because the earth is flat. It hit me like an uppercut to the nuts. The earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. The earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. There's a Russian with the crew. Don't forget to brush after your food. Asteroids and asteroids too. The earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. The earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. The earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. The earth is flat and there's nothing you can do about it. The earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. The earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. What you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat, it's fucking flat. The earth is fucking flat. The earth is fucking flat. The earth is fucking flat.
Alright, I got something thing. Sure. Oh man, I just lost. Fuck you. Yeah. Hold on. Shit. I really want to listen to this whole fucking thing. How long is this? All right, yeah, let's do it. What are you up to, Singe? Can you hear me? You're muted.
Yeah, just drawing and getting ready to go to bed soon, you know.
Yeah, I got to go to bed soon too because I got the morning show coming up that we've been working on. So, but
nice.
I don't know. I got another video to play though.
My pen is dead. I need to buy new pens.
Let's check this one.
The battery's running low. Whoops. What's happening?
Let's see how this works.
Oh. My computer. How's that?
Did not publish any last week, and today's topic is mud floods, meteorites, and earthquakes, when the sky fell. Before I get into that topic, though, I just wanted to share with you this interesting image that I found today, and it does correlate with the topic because I am going to be speaking a lot of the firmament, which is what I talked about in the last video as well. And this is actually a graphic showing biblical cosmology, and underneath it, it describes what the earth looks like according to the Bible, and it has all of the corresponding verses behind it. So it says the earth is a circle made with a compass, laid upon a face, which is bounded at its ends. It does not move and is covered by a dome containing the sun, moon, and stars, which are revolving. Above and below is water. And this isn't debatable. This is how the Bible describes the earth. And I think that it's important for people to realize that.
Yeah.
But let's move along with this topic.
No, where does it say that? I would just like to show some people
On
that.
the firmament and the windows of the firmament. And it was
taken from all different parts of the Bible, Singe. It tells you right after each one where.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll look at where does it say on there?
I'll go back. Yeah, I have another one I can send you. I have a link with.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
I have a link with 15 of them that I'm gonna show tomorrow probably.
and underneath it, it describes what the earth
Okay, maybe
looks
I'll
like
show
according
it.
to the Bible,
Okay,
and
yeah,
it
I
has
remember that
all
one
of the
now.
corresponding verses behind it. So it says the earth is a circle made with a compass, laid upon a face, which is bounded at its ends. It does not move and is covered by a dome containing the sun, moon, and stars, which are revolving. Above and below is water. And this isn't debatable. This is how the Bible describes the earth. And I think that it's important for people to realize that. But let's move along with this topic. So last night I recorded a video on the firmament and the windows of the firmament. And it was actually going off of another video that I did last week on the Prairie Dust channel. And we were talking about something called sky stones and also something called sky ice, and the possibility that there can be times that pieces of the firmament will break off. So this comment was left on that video by D. Lee. November 12th, 1833, the day the sky fell, the night the stars fell. Shelley, if you look into the above, you might find it interesting and maybe a connection. Could the rock you are talking about be from the story above? The event above was even called the Second Coming by John Smith. This event was seen all across North America, and it was also said that the firmament had been broken. So before going on, let me just show you the sky stones that I'm talking about in case you missed that video. In the Bible, the firmament is referred to as a solid structure. The Hebrew term for it is actually rakia. And what we were surmising in the video that I did last week on Prairie Dust is that it is possible for pieces of the firmament to break off, whether it be by some sort of catastrophe or in the case of the sky ice, we believe it's possible that they were actually drilling out samples. Now, does this mean that there are holes in the firmament? Well, no, I believe, and as does one of the other co-hosts over there named Catherine White, she also, well, she believes that the firmament is like our skin. when we get a cut on our skin, it grows new skin over it. It regenerates. And that is really how we're seeing the firmament as appearing. So that's important when we think about today's video, because we're going to be talking a lot about how what we see.
Okay, real quick though, if that were the case, couldn't they cut a piece off of this rock and then it'll just regenerate itself on a? You know what I mean?
It would have to be. Yeah, it's not. Obviously, that's not the substance we're talking about, because it doesn't do that.
Would it do that?
If it was a substance you're talking about.
But she's saying that they took this rock from the firmament, right? And she's saying that maybe it has a regenerative skin that, like, you cut and it heals itself. Well, wouldn't that happen to this too?
That piece, they say, the small pieces, they say
that one died. That piece died.
It turns into mists.
See, as
that's what they say. It doesn't melt.
Meteor
it just
showers
disappears. It goes smaller and disappears.
Firmament coming off, but that doesn't
Remember
necessitate
the clip I
that we're
played?
going to have the waters above come gushing in on us at any time. Now,
So
as
we're
an
inside.
I actually wanted to share another comment that I saw shortly before I started this video, and it does have to do with this. And the comment was made by Shimshon Ben Dan, and I have shared
I
some
don't
of his
know.
comments here before. They're always fascinating. And so he says, the firmament in Hebrew is rakia, as found in Genesis 1:7. Rakia means a thin sheet of gold. The Jewish sages said that there was a golden canopy over the earth that protected it from harmful rays. When God unleashed the great flood upon the earth, it says in Genesis 7:11 that the windows of heaven were opened. According to the Jewish Midrash, that golden canopy over the earth was torn, and it would have been visible to the naked eye. The Hebrew word for heaven is Shemayim. Shemayim is two words, Sham and Mayim. Sham means there, and Mayim means water, or water there. There is a huge teaching about the waters above the canopy and the fountains of the deep in the earth. For now, I will leave it at that. That really has me intrigued. I want to know more. So if you're watching Shimshon Ben Dan, I want to know more. There is much more to this story than just the few words given to it in the Bible. And so when I see here that it says that that golden canopy over the earth was torn and it would have been visible to the naked eye, this is what I think of. The Milky Way. And I know that there are many people who believe that the Milky Way is actually...
That's funny she mentions the Milky Way, since because they used to call me the Milky Way in high school.
As my friend Donita from Prairie Dust would say, a scar left over.
Oh,
from some
I
sort
thought they called you.
I believe that it was left over from
Um,
when the windows of heaven opened and the
Snicker.
waters came in during the flood. It could have been
Yeah,
from
they-
another
they-
event, but
they called me Snickers
I
for a
think that
while,
this certainly
too.
could be a candidate for what Shimshon Ben Dan was referring to about something being visible to the naked eye, a tear in the firmament. And as you can see, it would have been mending back together again. But for now that we're done talking about that, let's go to this article. The night the stars fell. In the hours just before dawn in November 1833, the skies across the United States were lit up by thousands of meteors. Though meteor showers are common, no one predicted the explosion of shooting stars that illuminated the night sky on November 12, 1833. Just before dawn, people threw on clothes and gathered in roads and fields to watch the 150,000 meteors, about 30 per second, dance in plain view during the storm's peak. This terrifies me, I have to interject here, because I have had so many dreams of fireballs coming out of the sky. And while I don't think that these were like landing anywhere, just the thought of seeing something like this, yeah, I have another story to tell, but I'll just add that one later. Anyway, one eyewitness told the Pantagraph newspaper in Illinois that the very heavens seemed to be ablaze. Though many were spellbound, not all rejoiced in the cosmic celebration. At the time, the South was a hotbed for the national religious revival known as the Second Great Awakening. Some awoke terrified, fearing it was the end of days, as predicted by a Bible verse, and the stars of heaven shall fall. But in the weeks following, newspapers demystified the showers with science. Of course, science to the rescue, right? So here is a depiction of what that looked like. And yeah, that would be completely terrifying. And here is an actual excerpt of an article. This is the Pittsburgh Weekly Gazette. It did not fall to our lot to witness a most extraordinary meteoric exhibition which appeared during the latter part of Tuesday night last. It is represented to us as having been the most extraordinary sight that has ever been seen by the oldest of our inhabitants. Those who speak of it have some difficulty in conveying an accurate account of it. Some say it looked as if the heavens were pouring down showers of fire. Others, that it resembled the falling of brilliant and burning snow. Not an occasional spit here and there, but as it would look in a storm, save only that the flakes flew in an opposite direction to the wind. It is said to have been of long continuance, indeed to have continued until these fires were quenched in daylight. Well, maybe there were fires then. So, yeah, now I'm just going to add what I was going to say. So years ago, I was watching Left Behind. It was on TV. And for some reason, I went outside. I don't remember. It was nighttime. And I looked up in the sky, and there were all these orange balls of light in the sky. Lots of them.
Yeah,
and at first, I thought maybe it was a meteor.
I've seen UFOs.
They a lot of synchronicities tonight. Because, like, before I went to high school, I was in middle school, junior high. And they used to call me Orange Balls.
Shower. Because I had never
No
seen
one's breaking out the firmament. You silly little twat.
These were
no
big.
one's breaking out the firmament. Be happy what you
Right.
got.
Big balls.
And they were moving pretty quickly. And they were moving so quickly and they were going down that I was honestly expecting to see explosions in like a near distance away from my house. And to this day, I'm not really sure what they were. I thought that maybe Chinese lanterns.
It's probably demons.
And they well could have been. It's just that there were so many of them, you would think there would have been some sort of event, where they would have been having a festival or something, where they would have been letting off all these Chinese lanterns. And I searched
A demon festival where they're letting off Chinese lanterns?
the web, trying to
Hey,
find.
you should have seen
that.
Dave
Could not find
Trinity
anything.
today.
Yeah, what's up?
On fire on the street, flat, pleasing the world.
Flat smacking people or doing
Just
a good
totally. Yes.
Wait, what is there a video of it? Is there a video of it?
Yeah, Ray said he was handing out. Not Ray. Ryan.
Hey.
Ryan said he was handing out keys to the prison.
Bring
was
it
great.
up to play on the next video. How about that?
So if it would have been
play
just
it? I think you should play.
water,
My connection could
no,
just drop.
then yeah, it could have just been
All right, put the link in the. Can you
Okay.
Yeah.
someone, having fun. But this was like
Although
dusk.
I haven't dropped.
So anyway, it's
in
just
a
made me think
while.
of that. Anyway,
Maybe I could try it.
so yeah. So when you think of stories like this, of happenings like this,
Yeah, all
you
the
can't
all
help
the
but
buildings
wonder,
are covered in snow right now.
what are meteorites? If we truly believe what the Bible says and that there is a solid dome above us, what would meteorites be? Then they certainly wouldn't be something coming from outer space.
No.
So one of the things that I would be thinking is that they could indeed be pieces of the firmament breaking off, as those sky stones that were found in Sierra Leone. It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, so here's another photo here. Just, I can't even imagine
Is that a photo or an etching?
what it would have been like. And it lasted a long time.
Singerman, you're an artist. What do you think? A photo or an etching?
Huh? Okay. Where is it? Oh, let me look at the picture. Wow, nice.
Is it a photo or an etching?
Not a photo.
Well, she said it.
Drawing.
She just said, "Here's another photo."
Oh, it's a picture that she has.
It must have been
But no, it's a
completely
drawing. It's a picture of a drawing.
Here's another depiction of what a meteor shower of that kind would look like.
That was cool art too.
It is.
Actually,
And
close.
here's another
But it
one.
is just a drawing.
Wow, that's what people saw there. The shipping so hard.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be like
And a friend
Van
shared this
Gogh.
with me today.
That's
and
really good
this
art.
is indeed the case.
Whatever.
You know, why do you
They're
think
just-
they say the sky's the limit?
I'm skeptical.
Well, because
of
it is the
drawings.
limit. So
They're
again,
just like so okay, and you're an artist, and you're like, oh my god,
Sis, man,
you just sat there and drew
you
it
could
until you were
draw.
done.
You could probably draw anything and make people think that's what, like, oh, I saw this. You know what I mean?
from
This
the
is what like this picture right
Here's another
here,
article about it.
right?
November 12th to the
I saw
13th.
it, and now I'm drawing it.
1833, the
Exactly.
night the stars fell. On the night of
Exactly.
November 12th to the 13th, 1833, a spectacular meteor storm over North America created the appearance of millions of shooting stars raining down from the sky.
What's
The
up,
phenomenon,
Scott?
known as the Leonid meteor storm, both amazed and terrified those who witnessed it when as many as 150,000 meteors per hour fell like fiery snowflakes from the sky. Each year in November, the Earth's orbit passes through a band of meteorites. And I'm not going to read that because I don't think that's what actually happens. I will link this in the description if you want to. But let me see. We will read this because here's another newspaper account from Vermont Telegraph, and it was published November 21st, 1833. A most remarkable exhibition in the firmament, they knew, was witnessed by multitudes early on the morning of the 13th. It was between 5 and 6 o'clock when we saw it, but we have heard of its being noticed as early as 2. The only description we can give of it, and may be sufficient to convey a correct idea of the scene, is that there was a constant flight of what are commonly called shooting stars, descending from the direction of the zenith to all points of the compass. So they were going in all directions. Some occasionally were faint and scarcely visible, but others were very brilliant and terminated like a rocket with a silver star, which instantly disappeared. Probably some of these stars were more magnificent than those we witnessed, as the first indication we had of the phenomenon was from a very bright light shining upon the wall of the chamber and delineating the form of the window through which it shone. So, yes, there were people who were scared that it was end times because the Bible does say that in those days the stars will fall from the sky. So, in Mark 13:25, it says, the stars will fall from the sky and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. For those of you who prefer the King James, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. Now, if we go over here, though, and read the context, this is, okay, just wait till you see what I
1833,
found with
which
this.
is a weird number.
But in those days after that tribulation, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. At that time, they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. So I just decided that I was going to check out the moon phases just out of curiosity because, it says that before this time when the stars will fall from the sky and the moon will not give its light. Well, I actually went and I found the phases of the moon during that time. Okay, so according to this, in November of 1833, this happened from the 12th to the 13th, and it says that before the stars would fall from the sky, that the moon would not give off its light. What do you see on the 11th? There is a new moon. What is a new moon? It's when you can't see the moon, when the moon is completely dark. So I found that to be super interesting.
You cut.
And
you come into Bible class
resisted,
tomorrow morning, Scott.
and I've had the theory for a while that
in the morning
meteorites could be pieces of the firmament breaking off. And one theory that one reason that I never shared it was because I thought to myself, but they can predict a lot of meteor showers.
I already went
I started thinking the Bible speaks of wandering stars.
for many
those
years.
I know.
during the meteor shower
They
may
need-
be part of the wandering stars, and they are something that are predictable. And if the the astronomers know that they're coming, then yes, they would still be able to do that. So maybe that in itself, maybe some of them are wandering stars. And I do believe, though, that some of them are pieces of the firmament, as is shown, through not only what we saw here in this
In
story,
high school, they used to call me Wandering Star.
sky stones
Oh, really?
from
I never knew.
from
I
New
never knew
Madrid.
that. You want to talk about it? What was it? Because you used to always run away from home. Huh? I knew it. I knew you used to. I knew you were a runaway. You
New
were one of
Madrid.
those.
I don't know how you say that. Madrid is how you say it in Spain. I'm not sure how they say it in Missouri. But anyway, another
What's
thing
up,
that I
effed
was
up world?
thinking is that could some of these singular meteorites that we see be man-made? Because as humans, we still have a tendency to want to be godlike.
No, we're never hit by
And
comments.
we see that happened in the Tower of Babel, where in the Tower of Babel, Nimrod, they all decided that they were going to build a tower that would reach up into the sky, and he was trying to make war with God. And what many people believe is that he was trying to get through the firmament, as they were trying to do, I believe, in Operation Fishbowl. Operation Fishbowl actually happened down in Antarctica. And we'll just read this on Wikipedia, which we know is compromised, but so is pretty much anything that you will find on search engines, at least the first several results that show up, you have to be leery of. But anyway, Operation Fishbowl was a series of high altitude nuclear tests in 1962 that were carried out by the United States as a part of the larger Operation Dominic nuclear test program. Flight test vehicles were designed and manufactured by Avco Corporation. Now, I want to point out, and this is something that I discovered from watching Rob Skiba, and he passed away, I think, a year or two ago, which I'm still very sad about, but he's with the Lord now. Anyway, Operation Dominic, the word Dominic means of the Lord. So Operation Fishbowl, which was part of Operation Dominic.
Hey, when are you gonna fake your death, Ray? I'm thinking about doing mine soon.
Think about the firmament, think about a fishbowl, and this was called Fishbowl of the Lord. So anyway, so they were shooting these nuclear bombs up into the atmosphere and down in Antarctica. And they didn't really give a good reason for it. I'll leave a link to this in the description. If you have never looked into Operation Fishbowl, you need to do that. That could be like an entire video, because yes, there's so much involved in it, but basically they were shooting these bombs up, and we believe they were trying to break through the firmament, just as in Babel, they were trying to get through the firmament. So my question is, when we see these singular meteorites, for example, something that I might talk about sometime is the Tunguska event that happened in 1908, I believe, over in Siberia. And I believe that was something that was also man-made. And it could have been that they were shooting something up at the firmament. And why do I think that? Well, we find these really strange balls all over the world.
D's.
So
Look at
spheres
D's.
of all kinds.
Hey, D's, tell the truth. Look at D's.
Worldwide that are completely unexplainable. Now, I know that sometimes Roger at Mud Fossil University will say that they are tendon balls, and it is very possible that that's what some of these are, but you will see that some of
Wow,
them
those are
clearly
weird. I
are
remember
not
looking at those
tendon
before.
balls.
Wow.
Another one.
So perfect. It's not nature.
This one's interesting. It just looks like it was burned and then just cracked. It does look gold underneath there, though, doesn't it? At first, I thought maybe like an egg, but now it just looks like something that was charred and cracked to me.
That looks like Turtle Earth.
It's a little bigger. These I'm actually going to get back to later, because I think I might have an idea of what those are. That's interesting. I don't know how that got up there. I wonder what that is in the background there.
What is that, a statue, or they're saying that's natural? That totally looks like
Lots of them
man-made.
here.
So now,
So
what
what
are
I
we
was-
thinking they are?
And then these ones aren't-
Firmament bits? Is
they
that
are
what she's
obviously not
saying?
animals. That was just
Wow, look at
a piece
that.
of art. That wasn't something that fell out of the sky.
So
But
now,
I don't think
that
that
is-
obviously was a tendon ball. Some more. So
It's like
what
the
are they?
Star
Are they
Wars
up in the
space
sky?
station
And when they
thing.
come
yeah.
down, are they, pieces? Are they creating like fireballs, like almost looking like comets coming through the sky as they streak back down here? I don't know, but I definitely think that it's a possibility. Now, of course, science will always give its ludicrous explanations for things. So let's just read what this says. Giant balls of metal are falling from the sky all around the world. And here's
Those
one.
are lyrics, dude. Giant balls of
And
metal.
Peruvians, so in Peru,
Falling from the
Peruvian Air
sky.
Force found this object after it dropped in the sky. Giant balls of metal spotted falling from the sky in different parts of the world have left people baffled. Brits, Russians, and now Peruvians have spotted fireballs plummeting into their local towns within weeks of each other. So where did they come from? So I think that it makes it suspicious, just the sheer fact that they're happening within weeks of each other. It almost seems like it's part of an operation.
What's that voodoo doll right there? She's
Locals
trending
from
now.
Peru's southeastern Andean community were terrified after finding 3 mysterious metal objects in nearby fields. They found the huge rocks hours after dozens of pictures and videos of a blazing object taken in the Peruvian towns of Tingo Maria and Pucallpa, which are 115 miles away from each other, were uploaded to social media. Romulo Barros, the chief of the fire service in the Brazilian municipality of Cruzeiro do Sul, said the object was most likely a meteorite. But the Peruvian Air Force confirmed the fireball was actually a Russian space rocket re-entering Earth's atmosphere. And let's see. And he said that the 3 metal spheres were fuel tanks
They play
belonging
asteroids.
to a satellite. Well, if you know what I know about satellites and the fact that they are launched into the atmosphere by balloons, I don't think that we're going to have these heavy fuel tanks on a satellite. Especially, I saw, I don't know if it was this article. Aha, they're 88 pounds. They're 88 pounds. I'm sorry, they're not going to be attaching 3 88-pound fuel tanks to a satellite. Yeah, and why do satellites even need fuel tanks when they're just hanging from balloons? So anyway, yeah, I'll leave a link in the description box for this also if you wanted to look into this. But now we're just going to move on to one more topic. So many people have been telling me to look into the New Madrid earthquake. And yeah, I'm finally going to do that. And it is interesting. So, strange happenings
Earth
during the
moves, it's an
earthquakes.
earthquake.
And that's really what it is. It was just a massive earthquake that happened in New Madrid shortly before the meteor shower, the major meteor shower that we were just talking about. So the New Madrid earthquakes were the biggest earthquakes in American history. They occurred in the central Mississippi Valley, but were felt as far away as New York City, Boston, Montreal, and Washington, D.C. President James Madison and his wife Dolly felt them in the White House. Church bells rang in Boston from the earthquake, so they weren't ringing them. It was from the seismic activity. From December 16th, 1811 through March of 1812, there were over 2,000 earthquakes in the central Midwest and between 6,000 to 10,000 earthquakes in the Boot Heel of Missouri, where New Madrid is located near the junction of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. In the known history of the world, no other earthquakes have lasted so long or produced so much evidence of damage as the New Madrid earthquakes. 3 of the earthquakes are on the list of America's top earthquakes. The first one on December 16th, 1811, a magnitude of 8.1 on the Richter scale. The second on January 23rd, 1812, at 7.8. And the third on February 7th, 1812, at as much as 8.8 magnitude. Now, I have to say that the reason that so many people tell me to look into this is because when I bring up the mud floods, I have talked many times about how I believe that a lot of these mud flooded buildings have occurred from soil liquefaction as a result of earthquakes. And I'm just thinking, especially like we're just talking about around, you know, the United States area here, but I'm thinking what would be big enough that it would be such a widespread area. And this certainly seems like it could be a culprit for many of the mud flooded buildings that we have here. I mean, it goes all the way up into from the Mississippi Valley, goes all the way onto the East Coast, up into Montreal, as far south as Washington, D.C. And there were a lot of strange occurrences that accompanied the New Madrid earthquakes. So first of all, the Mississippi ran backwards. After the earthquake, boatmen reported that the Mississippi actually ran backwards for several hours. So we had that. Then this is just saying how people got over cracks in the earth. Now, earthquake phenomena, sand boils. The world's largest sand boil was created by the New Madrid earthquake. It is 1.4 miles long and 136 acres in extent, located in the boot heel of Missouri. So there were sand boils. There were seismic tar balls. Now, this is where I said earlier that I was going to get back to that one photo, and this is what I think it might have been. So when it says seismic tar balls, I immediately thought of this photo here. I don't know if that's what this is, but I think that it could definitely be an explanation for this one. Small pellets up to golf ball sized tar balls are found in sand boils and fissures. They are petroleum that has been solidified or petroliferous nodules. Next thing is earthquake lights. Lights flash from the ground caused by quartz crystals being squeezed. The phenomena is called seismoluminescence. There was warm water, earthquake smog, loud thunder, and of course there were animal warnings, which, you know, we know that animals seem to have like a sixth sense about this sort of thing. And then down here we have Tecumseh. I don't know if I said that right, but he was an Indian leader, and it actually talks about I don't remember if it was him, but there was a comet that occurred before the earthquakes. And it says here, the earthquakes were preceded by the appearance of a great comet. So that's, yeah, which was visible around the globe for 17 months and was at its brightest during the earthquakes. So we've got a comet that is visible for 17 months, and it's at its brightest during the earthquakes. And you can't help but wonder if somehow all of these things are connected. You just, yeah, you have to be suspicious about this. The comet, with an orbit of 3,065 years, was last seen during the time of Ramses II in Egypt. And I'm wondering how they know it was the exact same one. But anyway, in 1811 to 1812, it was called Tecumseh's Comet, or Napoleon's Comet in Europe. Tecumseh was a Shawnee Indian leader whose name meant shooting star, or he who walks across the sky. He was given this name at birth. And then it just tells a little bit more about him. But yeah, the New Madrid earthquakes were preceded by a major comet sighting. So I find that to be really interesting. So let's just look at some photos that I found of what I believe to be mud flooded buildings. These are not from New Madrid. These are worldwide. But I do believe that soil liquefaction. Now, obviously, this was something worse than soil liquefaction because this was a city under a city. I think this would have been a more major catastrophe. But soil liquefaction, I do have to say that most of the time when you see soil liquefaction right after an earthquake, the buildings will be tilted. And most of the mud flood buildings that you find are obviously not tilted. They are level, or you would not be able to use them anymore. But my theory is that they are tilted, and then once they start to settle, they could level themselves out as they are settling, because you figure everything is still fresh when they are tilted like that. And, you know, you have to think that they probably built things way better back then, because I know the stuff they build nowadays is not good, including houses. So anyway, so here is something that I believe definitely shows some sort of catastrophe. And a lot of times I use mud flood just as a blanket term for some sort of catastrophe that caused a reset. We have another one. I mean, look at this. Where did all this mud come from? It's just everywhere. So when people try to say that mud floods weren't a thing, well, and in this case, I do have to say that I don't really think this would have come from soil liquefaction. I believe, and this is something that I'll talk about in another video, I believe that Noah's flood may have happened much more recently than what we're told. And I believe that something like this would be the result of a flood like that. But yeah, that is definitely something for another day. And here, all the mud, all the dirt. And this is something else that
Chat
would
wants to know who this
something
is.
This is
much more major, I think, than soil liquefaction.
I'll put the link in if I can find
but the key is just that there definitely was some sort of event in the past that caused buildings to be buried, and it could have been more than one event. I think that the New Madrid earthquakes, it just seems funny to me that all of these things happened in the same period. The 19th century seemed to be a period of
it's a channel.
such,
It's a YouTube channel called
so many calamities.
There's No Place Like Home.
If we are to believe the historical narrative,
I
so
watch
many
it
calamities.
sometimes.
So many upheavals, and then also though so much advancement, thinking of the world's fairs and the Industrial Revolution, but then you've got the orphan trains, so much going on in that time. And I know that right now, with everything going on in the world, so many of us look around and we say Jesus is coming soon. But you know what, with all this stuff that was happening then, if we were to believe that all this stuff happened then, if we believe this timeline and the narrative, well then yeah, I think that very likely people were saying things like that too, especially as I mentioned earlier with that meteor shower. And you know, I don't know, are these things all related?
Maybe.
Too many mysteries to think about in one evening. Anyway, that's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one either here or over on Instagram. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page.
All right. There you go. No Place Like Home. Check her out. All right. Let's see. So I got 2 more videos and then I'm getting out of here because I have to get my sleep for the morning show. But it's all right. Let's see what's this. I got that. Oh, that one was cool. Singeman, did you ever put your video in that you wanted me to play?
Are you talking about season 2?
No, you said you were going to put in what was it? Trinity's video?
Oh, I found it. Yeah, it's 4 hours long. So no, 21 minutes we can watch for 5 minutes or so. We're just going to 21 minutes.
You know where to start it and play it at? Can you do it?
Yeah.
Like, if it's going to be a pain in the ass to me, I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, I'll just go click, 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 click,
All
and
right.
you tell me when to stop. I'll sit over here. How will I know when to stop? Just like 5 minutes or something?
Just play, yeah, whatever. Just check it out.
I was checking.
Just shout out to Trinity, yeah.
In case I fall asleep or something, just kick me. Okay. We got Warriors! This is Sparta, and it's fun.
Yes.
I can't believe it. Okay, here we go. It's present. I can't believe it because I am supposed to be dead. Here I am, alive. What's going on? There we go. It wanted. Sir, don't do it right now. Come on. Hold on. I'll do this first, right? Take. That'll help.
You're funny.
You slept. You slept. The self-destruct system has been activated. Option to override expires in 10 minutes.
You got it? Nice.
Okay, here we go.
Good job. Now I can just sit back and relax. Good. I'm happy with that.
Frightening, even for people that are completely down and out. It's too frightening, guys. Electromagnetic universe. Don't believe the bunk. We live in an electromagnetic realm. Can I give you some information? Free your mind. The mind is like a parachute. It works best when open. So, I'm just going to do a few hours of this and see how it plays out today. I don't have a fixed agenda, but I did get here early, so I was able to get prime location here on the railings. This was my backup. I came here the other day and I was like, yeah, this is where I'm going to put the banner. But I got this new banner coming, and I think it's going to be about 2 meters long by 1 meter wide. So not as hard to locate as these monsters that Harry made, Harry and Jason. I do love these. They're very familiar. Hello, my dear little child. But this is my happy place in a way. You know, I quite enjoy the to and fro. Got some information on the electromagnetic universe. You're welcome. Have a nice day. You know how Harry does it? He will go out and film for a day and then spend hours editing that into a really succinct and tidy product, a video. I don't have the means of doing that. It would be kind of nice, but this is, you know, down and dirty, and of course it can get a little. There can be periods of interruptions. Bit of rugby, electromagnetic universe. We live inside the ball, not on the outside of it.
What happened?
Can I give you a flyer on the electromagnetic universe? It's won't bite. It's only information. You don't? Okay. Well, that was pretty well said for a non-English speaking person.
She said, "I don't speak English."
So yeah, it might. It might in the presentation.
Hey, Sherry,
this is live.
she's there.
And you've got to take all comers, good, bad, and ugly. I hope the audio is good there, guys. I've got some information on electromagnetic universe. NASA is lying to you about where you live. NASA is the new religion. Did you know that? Some information on electromagnetics. All right. Have a nice day. Electromagnetic universe. Some information for you. Earth is not a globe. You are not evolved from monkeys or apes. People correct me when I say monkeys. What's the difference? My wife kindly made me a little flask of coffee here. Hi guys, Earth is not a globe like they tell us. We didn't evolve from apes like they tell us. We are created perfect By God.
Nice. I can't remember like
God
20
is
years
for you.
ago now. Oh, I remember that guy said that.
A lot of foreigners around today. When I say foreigners, I mean people with a different accent to mine. As Earth is not a globe, as you can see from my little bit of chalking here. Oh, that man looks sick. Master or servant, eh? Earth is flat, not a globe. That's another lie, isn't it? NASA. Water finds its level. Water must be level. Gravity is a theory. All right, brother. Thank you.
Takes a lot of guts to do this.
Earth is not a globe. We've been lied to about that as well. You can't die from the flu.
Well, you can, but you know what I'm saying.
Don't tell my wife,
Daily
but she
burps.
made the coffee a little bit weak today. But this is in a sealed bottle called Chili Bottle. Would you believe my daughter works for this firm? This one is hard for most people to read, isn't it? It's only for adults. So yeah, I got a little bit of the Adam Meakin chalk left, and I'll be needing to get some more soon. As I said earlier, we're based about half an hour from here at the moment.
It's just warming
So
up
I
there,
thought
you
I
know?
had to come.
Yeah.
No, couple.
I've done stuff like this, but I don't, you know.
This
I don't
couple
know.
right here
I'm a little-
listens to him for a while, but they don't buy it.
Yeah, some people will talk to you about it, but it's nuts to just go up to people on the street, you know, and just be like, "Hey, look at this!" Like, I had one, I had one person that worked at a bar down south say, "No solicitation." I'm like, "I'm not soliciting. I'm not trying to sell anything." He's like,
I know.
That's-
It's like you really got to know your laws and your rights before you go out there and do this.
Yeah, and wherever you are.
And, he was kicked off one beach for not putting on the face nappy.
Into us that's moving.
And the planets. So I think that if they are out there, if they're a lot closer to us than I think they are.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I'm not no after physicist. So I've skimmed across the top,
Yeah.
but you don't need to go deep
There it
too
is
much
again.
to know when you're being lied
Reference
to sometimes.
to
Once you get
authority
that little
again.
bite
I'm
for
not
it,
an astrophysicist,
you know.
right?
And the one thing I
Reference to
realise
authority.
now is this: those you can't question is those who control
What's
you.
up, Sue?
Yep. If you want to know who controls you,
Thumb this up.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
All the best.
Good luck.
Cheers, bud.
Sue. Yeah, she was here.
Sure, it's cold today, guys.
everywhere.
I am actually shivering right now. Truthfully, I need to jacket up my
This is
button
like
up my
5
jacket.
a.m. for me. I couldn't sleep.
I hope you're enjoying the conversation. So I'm having some nice ones today, as you can tell. It's interesting. Sorry, that's close to the old facial. You guys get to see my face closer than I do because, I sometimes get close to the camera. Anyway, so
Wanna keep watching
it's.
more?
I hope you guys are enjoying that. As I said, we are infinite. Yeah, Jason, we are infinite. Francois wants to do some activism with me in South Africa. I really want to come back to South Africa
everywhere.
in the not too distant future. But you may remember that my little boy, 5 years old, got a 5-year ban from South Africa. Can you imagine being 5 years old? He was 4 at the time, and being banned for 5 years from entering a country, which is crazy. Eh? Oh, what could a 5-year-old have done? Was he working illegally or something, or doing something nefarious? No. His South African passported parents stayed in the country for 11 months, and he was only allowed to stay for 3 months because of the visa situation. So I need to address that.
4-year-old
I've been trying to write to
overstayed
the
his
South
visa.
African non-authorities to say, hey, this is bullshit, but they don't write back to me. Because if I didn't write back to them, they would sack me straight away. They would charge me. How are you going, guys? Good.
free to talk?
I am free to talk.
I'm
My name's
Tobias.
Dave.
Nice to meet you.
Tobias.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
I was having a read of your stuff earlier. It's pretty interesting, to be fair.
Okay, thanks.
I never paid attention in school, so like, I haven't got a clue about what's what or what's where.
Yeah, it's your first
Can
step, bro.
Can
Don't
I offer
pay
you something to
attention in
think about,
school.
Tobias? What if when you were in school at 6 years old, they told you stuff that you intrinsically said, no, that's bullshit.
Why don't you keep
I'm
playing?
not paying
Okay.
attention to this shit anymore.
Yeah.
And so you completely switched off of it. But when you're small and they say, hey, by the way, you're spinning, the earth is spinning, you're on a globe, you evolved from monkeys and all that sort of thing, that doesn't sit right with me, but you have to answer that as the right answer in question in class, otherwise you fail, right?
Yeah.
So I switched off school myself. But when I found this 7 years ago, I was like, shit, there's a real reason for me to go and tell people this information, because it empowers you in the way that school disempowered me.
Yeah.
It made me think that I was insignificant, and it wants you to think that you're insignificant, so you become a tax slave rather than knowing that you are the center of creation, that you are meant to be the divine spark of whatever the creator is.
Yeah.
And that this journey here of this life is meant to be one of soul growth or spiritual growth, rather than the diminishment, and all we're interested in is watching the football and blah 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 blah, chasing skirts and stuff. Like, nothing wrong with, you know, obviously finding a woman attractive and all that sort of thing, but at the same time it needs to be balanced with, who are we? And you know, like we, if this is true that we are the center of creation, then I have to treat you with honor and respect like you are. I'm talking to God.
Yeah.
And I would treat everybody as well as I could, given that. But if I didn't know that, I'd be happy to go to war with another guy, as I did when I was 19 years old. I went to war in a country called Angola.
Oh wow. That's is it near Africa? That Angola?
Yeah, bottom of Africa. I grew up in South Africa, and we had to do 2 years national service. And they told us for years and years and years that the communists are coming to take our country. So we had to go and defend our borders. And in my time in 1987, I went into these tank battles.
Yeah.
And then after I wrote my book about it 10 years ago, someone came to me and said, you know, your battles were being staged. They were being organized by the Americans and the Russians. We'll have you guys fight there. We'll have you do this. And when I started to think about what my experience was in the 3 months on the front line, I was like, oh, some of that starts to make sense. Okay. And then I came across the 9/11 story. You know that's not what they told you about Al Qaeda, you know, what Bin Laden and all that sort of stuff, right?
Oops.
But what happened? I
You
missed.
said something about the 7-Eleven down at the corner street.
It's all right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
He didn't say too much. I forgot. Gotta watch.
So once that fell apart, I started looking more deeply at a whole bunch of other stuff like the moon landings and stuff like that, which I used to believe, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's not true
I
either.
don't know anything about it, to be fair. So like, I was just reading some of the bits.
Are they vaping?
Bobs that were on here. You said it's from South Africa. Do you like Johnny Clegg?
Yeah.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah.
I know Johnny Clegg.
No way.
Well, he's dead now, but he used to train in the gym that I worked at in Johannesburg.
Hey,
I used to spot him with a bench press. No shit. Really?
Yeah, there's Scotland, Africa.
Yeah. We are the scatterlings of Africa.
Yeah, it's a tune.
Yeah, yeah, man.
But I don't know anything. I've just been reading on here, and obviously I've always been told the Earth's round. So
Yeah.
It might sound like a really stupid question, but I'm quite naive.
Go for it.
If you was to, you know, like America,
Yeah.
right? If you was to go to America and you went left,
Yes.
what happens?
Okay.
You fall off the map.
Okay. Well, so because I know that the Earth is, well, I believe totally that the Earth is not a spinning rock, and we're on the outside. And if I'm in South Africa, I'm coming up the side of it, and so on. I flew 6 months ago or so. I flew from South Africa, and I've been thinking about this for 7-8 years now. But I'm meant to have traveled from the side here onto the top where England is. Right. But nothing in my body or my drink or anything or my gyroscope, any of these things will tell me that I've changed my perpendicular from this way to this way. Nothing shows us that.
Right.
So I know that. I know that water is level, but how the flat Earth works exactly, that's a big debate.
Right.
We don't have the answers on that. But let me show you this. This here, this is a conception of how the flat Earth may work.
Right.
This layout of the continents, by the way, is
melting points right here. This is to point out the impossibility of satellites at the height that they're at. They would melt.
is exactly the same as the United Nations
good one.
logo layout, and it puts your North Pole in the center there, and then the South. The South Pole is really just a ring of ice that closes the whole thing in. But
I mean,
this
it might not melt,
is one
but
of the biggest
circuitry
sort of
boards and stuff like that,
anti-flat
you know what I'm
Earth devices in my mind, because I don't think it's a material world.
I wish we
I
had
think
a
it's
poster when we were doing this.
And in a magnetic world, it's like a torus. Yeah. And inside of
Yeah.
that torus, just
Pretty
like
good for
an
something
apple
like
or
that.
an orange, if you had to
Mojo,
cut the apple
Mojo Shop next
on-
time needs to bring a poster.
where the seeds are, that's where our continents are.
Oh, right. So they're like inside the earth.
We're inside it. Nature will show you that every fruit, everything has a skin. Tree, egg, apple.
Yeah.
It's always got to have a skin. You have a skin. Without the skin, you don't live, right? So I think that we live inside something rather than on the outside, clinging precariously to the outside of it. But the little bit that we inhabit, this what we call Earth, all of this has one ocean,
Right.
and that one ocean has pretty much the same sea level. In fact, the American there's the here is the there's what's it called, the Panama Canal.
Right.
Panama Canal connects this ocean to this ocean, and the USGS admits that the difference in height is 9 inches between that. And then we've got the Suez Canal, which goes through there, and the Suez Canal is 120 miles long, perfectly flat.
Right. I see.
So every body of water that we measure, examine, or whatever will always find itself flat unless you're blowing on the surface.
So it's another silly question. I don't mean to.
No, please hit me with
or
hit me,
anything,
no, hit
just
me,
completely
hit,
clueless to all of
hit me.
this. So if you was here,
Yeah.
and you went on a boat. Sorry, right. If you was here,
Yes.
you went on a boat.
Yes.
Would I fall off the earth?
No.
Would I go there and go and,
Okay.
and land into space?
Okay, so as far as we're concerned, there is no space other than the space between
I love
us.
his honesty,
Outside
this
of,
kid,
in the biblical
this young man.
conception, not that
He's
I'm
like,
pushing
seriously,
any
not
Bible or
trolling, he's
religion,
like, dude,
but
I
in the
just
biblical
really wanna
conception, the
know.
old cultures used to say that there's waters outside.
Yeah.
So
There's people
outside
like
of our
that.
orange, that we call the universe, our world, there might be water or something else, but I have no certainty, and I don't make any claims about that. But here's an interesting thing you won't have heard of, is that there's something called the Antarctic Treaty.
Okay.
And it was signed in about 1957, where
Oh,
all
yeah,
the big
awesome,
countries of the world at the time, all
I get it now. He's just repeating what he's heard online, and he knew was not right. He wanted to know. He's like, wait, I can never get a straight answer online about this because they always think I'm trolling. He finally got to ask. Or, he heard that from online, obviously.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could have thought of it. You're right. And then they're friends, and they both talked about it already. It's cool.
All right.
people agreed that they would never do any mining. They would never allow people to go there. So all the navies of the world, they patrol these areas. Here at the bottom of South Africa, if you had to travel about 1,000 miles down from South Africa, you'd be stopped by a naval ship. Guys have tried to do that. There's guys on YouTube who've talked about being turned back. There's videos of them being turned back by big Navy ships and so on. So anything after the 70th parallel, even planes can't fly below the 70th parallel. So we don't know for sure. There was a guy called Admiral Byrd here in the 1950s, an American guy. They sent him for about 10 years, maybe 15 years, to do massive expeditions. They sent him with a fleet of ships, including aircraft carrier and so on. And he used to go down there, I think down this way, over here. And he spent years and years and years exploring this area. And there's a video of him on a TV interview back in the 1950s saying, I found land bigger than America down there. And there's resources down there that would last humanity for hundreds of years.
Wow. So do you think that there's another part of the world that we've not experienced?
Yes.
Right.
I think that part of the flat earth or part of the globe thing is that if I put you on a globe, you can't go anywhere. There's nowhere else for you left to explore.
Yeah.
But on a flat plane, this bit of land that we see here may only be a fraction of the total land. And when they talk about extraterrestrials, extra terra means extra land. It may well be that there's other lands either outside of this ring or within the same orange, and we've just never been shown that.
Or they're
this is
just
such an
demons.
amazing just here. There could be a continent there, and none of us have ever been allowed to go there. All shipping, by the way, if you ever look at like the around the world shipping thing where the guys do boating around the world, they generally they'll go around here, and then they'll land here in California, then they'll go around South America, and they might touch Brazil or whatever, they might go to Cape Town, they might then carry on around here. But all of that you can do on this map. You know, if I had to circumnavigate Glastonbury, doesn't mean it's a globe. I've just gone around the neighborhood and come back around to where I started, and that all the shipping can easily be explained by that. And the vast majority, 70-60% of all Earth shipping kind of goes this way and goes through the Suez Canal and then goes round to India and all of that sort of thing. So none of this needs to be on a ball. When I first discovered this back in 2016, I took a flight to France, and I took a digital spirit level on my phone, and I zeroed it on the ground, on the floor of the plane. And then the whole way through the flight, I observed it, and our nose was 1.5 degrees up for the whole flight until we came to landing. When it came to settling, he put the nose at about 0.5 degree altitude up, and we slowly fell back down to the ground. And once the plane was settled, 0 again. But if I travel like they say it, 5% around the globe, then I should have changed my aspect should have changed by at least a few degrees. I should be able to observe that. And the old gyroscopes that are just it's a manual thing. You spin that up at your 0 at your ground level, and the plane can fly through clouds. And you'll know the moment his nose is off what is horizontal, what was his original horizontal. It doesn't matter how far he flies, that horizontal will remain from where he started to where he's finished.
Okay. So,
Same.
That's another silly question.
No, not silly. Please ask.
Like things like hills, mountains.
Yes.
How does that work? Like, you know, if the Earth is round or if it's flat.
Okay.
How do you get like raised, you know, bits of grounds?
Okay.
You know, things like that. Is that just the shape of the Earth? It's just.
Okay. So what if I took a massive boulder and threw it into a ditch?
Yeah.
And then I half filled that ditch with water. Then all of the rock or the boulder that was above the water would be my continent. So if you went to, say, the east coast of England and walked across England, the landmass to Wales, you would go up to the highest point, and then you would go, let's say it's 700 meters high, and then you would go back down again 700 meters until you get to the Welsh coast. So either coast has got the same sea level, tidal variations aside. But so the land masses are simply, you know, like I said, if you cut the orange open like this and you let it fall open, those seeds, if you magnify them up a quintillion times, those seeds are your continents. And so they're going to have undulations and mountains and all of that sort of thing.
No, that makes sense.
But I mean, if you take the east coast of America, and you walked, I've traveled from east to west overland, and I knew intrinsically, before I believed in flat earth, I knew that I'd kind of gone up the mountains and then rise and then back down to the coast again. That's pretty much up and down. And when you're in school, your teacher would have gone, here's the ocean, here's the landmass, and here's the ocean again.
But it actually goes land.
But so you've got water, land that's sticking above the water, and then more water again. Doesn't matter whether it's an island that's 1 mile around or 1,000 miles around.
And that only explains the sea stuff, right? The seas around the Earth that sticks out, right?
Yeah, so it's really just, and we know, for example, there's pyramids in Japan that are under ocean. There's a town called Cromer in Norfolk, which the locals are very, very proud of. If you can go low tide, you can see the roofs of the villages that are underwater.
Yeah, I see.
You know, so we believe that the sea level wasn't where it is now. It wasn't always where it is now. But if I take that same example of the boulder inside my ditch, if I add another 1,000 liters of water, my sea level is going to rise. So the rock that's above the water is going to be smaller, but it's still going to be protruding and above, but all the water level around that rock is going to be identical. Same sea level, whether I'm this side of the rock or that side of the rock.
I'm a bit of a realist. So when you look at the sky,
Yes.
you see the stars.
Yes.
You see a perfect circle.
Yes.
Do you believe it's just a coincidence that they're all sort of facing this side? Because you can see their circle.
Yes.
Every single side that you see, millions
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
So why is it just us that's flat?
Ah.
You know, because you don't see any.
Okay. Can we just clarify that a circle is not a sphere?
Right.
So I agree with you. I see when I look at the moon, sun, and if I take a powerful camera and look at some of the stars, Venus, Mercury, and so on, what I see is a circle. Yeah, but we're assuming because we were taught when we were young that that's a globe.
Yeah.
That's
When he's done with these people, cut it. I got something cool. No, let him finish. Let him finish what he was saying.
So, what I see, if you look into sonoluminescence, if you look into how you can create a light from just using vibration, then what I think is that these are energy points within our system that are vibrating, and they're creating this alternating pattern. If you look at Mars, for example, it looks a little bit red, but it's just this light show that's doing this. You know, you can go on YouTube and see people with their P900s, P1000 Nikon cameras. They zoom right in on this, and all you're seeing is this orb or this circle doing this movement. That doesn't mean it's a rock. So in physics, logically, if I throw a rock in the air, you know it's going to come back down again. So we're told that because of gravity and a whole bunch of other things, that these rocks are somehow just in a slingshot, just staying around us for millions of years rather than just falling down. So the idea that the Earth is flat, I was saying to your friend here, the idea that the Earth is flat is a bit of a misleading thing, because the Earth is the bit that we're standing on. Say we were standing on a tiny island and we were looking as far as our eyes could see or as far as our camera could see, it would all seem flat to us. But we don't live, that's only like a part of the story. Like that, which is why I give the example of the fruit. If you cut the fruit open and you look at the star pattern of the seeds around that and so on, inside of that it could be flat, but it's within a ball. It's within a sphere or an electromagnetic torus system is what I kind of suggest to people.
I think it was on the other side of the Earth. So we're on one side.
On
the other side.
On the other side?
Yeah.
Well, do you know that I don't know if there is another side. The furthest we've dug into the ground on Earth anywhere is a mine called the Kola Deep in Russia, and they got 8 miles into the ground. And for 2 years, they only got another 20 centimeters of depth. They gave up in 1997, I think, because the no bit that we had, no.
The Kola borehole. I think it's called deep too, but Kola borehole. 8.7 miles, something like that. And that's not how far man has been. That's how far the drill tip has been. Man was only like 5 miles or 4 miles, something like that. Yeah, the drill tip made it 8 miles, not man.
Drill that we had could penetrate the bedrock or whatever it is that's 8 miles down. So if there's something underneath us, I don't know that it's there. If there were people walking underneath us upside down, that would be beyond what we can see physically happening, because as far as I can tell, we would simply fall down. But in an electromagnetic universe, if you take a bar magnet and suspend it in the air, then the iron filings will form underneath like that and stand with their upside down is their right way up is this way and your right way up is this way. Is it possible there's something underneath us? I'd leave that open. I can't say for sure. But the idea that our ships are sailing over and then going down the side of a ball and then getting underneath Australia and all that sort of thing and sort of hanging like the tick on underneath a dog's belly. No, that doesn't stack.
I've flown to Australia and I've been to America a few times now with my family.
Yeah.
When you're that high in the air,
Yeah.
you can see the roundness of
Yeah.
the boat.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
doesn't match up with your theory.
Have you
Because
heard-
on the way back,
Yeah.
and then you can still see it. So that means all of it is
Okay.
around.
Okay. Have you heard of a guy called Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, you can't.
He's the world's most famous scientist. And he is on record saying that even at 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet, you are nowhere near high enough to see Earth's curvature. What you're seeing, what you believe is curvature, is actually the refraction of the light, because as you look into the distance, you are seeing a circle. If you can see for 100 miles there and 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, you're actually inscribing a circle. And the way that the density of the atmosphere is closer to the ground, it kind of does have this effect of seeming to bend the light. But you might not have heard me say this to your friend. I took a spirit level on a plane, and I fly from South Africa to England often. I've flown to America, many times, and the flying for me is not evidence of that. When I was 10 years old, I got to sit in the front in the cockpit with a pilot for half an hour, and all I could see in front of me was flat. Everything was flat, looking forward. When you look out the side of your plane, where you're looking through 3 windows. You're looking through a bent window, which kind of gives you that rounding effect as well. But when I say to people, like, if you had to go to the cockpit and look as far as you can into the distance, it would seem flat. There are pilots on YouTube saying it's flat. We don't make any allowance for going down or coming back up, any of that sort of thing. But it's flat for 10 minutes of flying, and then you look again, still flat for 10 minutes of flying, still flat. So like I said, with the Spirit level, I was able to prove to myself conclusively that we go up, the nose is slightly attitude up to hold us up in at 40,000 feet, and we stay like that for 5 hours, 10 hours, or whatever.
Is that not just because it's so large? Yeah.
That's another theory. Do you know how large it is? Okay, so the circumference around it is 24,000 miles, 25,000 miles. So on that basis, they give us a formula that is 8 inches per mile squared. I don't agree with it. I think that if you were on a ball, then the amount that it would bend would be the same no matter where you were. But they say that it's 8 inches per mile squared. So the distance between here and America is thousands of miles, and there should be hundreds of miles of curvature for that. In fact, it's so much that the pilot should be having to lose a mile of height as he's kind of following the curvature. He should be losing a mile of height every few minutes.
Right.
But we don't, and then people say, no, but the...
Is that good?
Yeah. Just keep it going for a sec.
Okay. I want to check something out here really quick. Not Blue Ball, but Bluebell Fields. Bluebell Fields. Uh-oh, my internet said no. Don't like that. Not even on the internet still. Yes. There they are. Look at that. I think it's a full screen. There you go. Bluebell Fields. I came up on my screensaver. I was like, oh, look at that. Nice. The image. Dun, da, 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 Bluebell Fields, folks. Okay, so what are we doing here? More Glastonbury?
Well, I found the underwater pyramids.
Plane.
What?
He mentioned underwater pyramids in Japan. I found them. Take your screen share off. Or mine might take.
Are you ready? Okay.
All right. There's one. Underwater pyramid in Japan.
That's a natural formation made by years of sediment collecting. Okay. That's something like they would say. How to get 90 degrees? Oh, well, once in a while, nature makes a 90-degree thing, you know. No, this is going to have to say it was once above water. There's no way around it. They have to say that this was at one time above water. There's no way out of this. We got to be cornered. This was built above water. They didn't come down here and build this under the water. Dun, 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 and it's not a natural formation. We've got you cornered. Now, what is the what's their narration that they're pushing? And then we'll just flip it the opposite. We'll probably be close. Yo.
Yeah.
I said, what's their narration they're pushing? This thing was built above the water. And that's a lot of water.
Underwater, it's in Japan, but, you know.
Dude, they have the strangest stuff. Their comics are strange. Their stories are strange. Their culture is strange. They're pretty cool people. They're odd. They're different. I like that.
So was it melted or was it just submerged underwater for a long time? That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
It wasn't built underwater. That they cannot tell us.
I'm saying melted.
I'm not just
castles
saying
could have been-
they can't tell us that. They would love to tell us that, but they can't.
There's your turtle.
So-
There's your turtle.
Turtle Earth. Bam, bam, bam.
So this is Singe, man. He put on a scuba diving suit and he brought down his camera.
But I wasn't looking for pyramids. I was mold collecting, and I happened along this wonderful mold find right here. And it was called lichens. We have a whole show on lichens, actually.
Yeah, we did do a show on lichens, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We pretty much did a show on everything. Singe. I don't even. What happened to that show? We gotta bring it back. We gotta bring back the lichens episode. Whoa, what is this? Underwater. Underwater. So this is supposedly in Japan. I don't know. But you know what was weird about it? Look. Okinawa underwater pyramid of Okinawa. Whoa. Whoa. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, well, at least there's some sort of evidence. Well, what was that? That looked like a complex one. Look at this. Whoa, underwater monument. What happened to that? I don't know. It's a little sketchy. All right, what else do we got? So, Singe, what type of mold is this? All right, what else do we got here? All right, we've got Scoop.
I think that is from the Epic Aqua family.
Oh, that's isn't that the flying V symbol that they used to give you in high school that you used to wear on the back of your bomber
Look at
jacket?
that. Wait a second. What do we got there? Whoa. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Singe,
discovered this?
Singe, every fucking day, dude. You know you wore that jacket to high school with the flying V symbol, just like that. All right.
Because of Van Halen.
Isn't that such a coincidence?
I think now we have the band called Van Halen belts.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Instead of Van Halen,
I seen Van Halen.
Van Halen belts.
I seen them. I seen Van Halen. They rocked. I seen him when he was still alive.
He was a pretty damn good martial artist too.
But they had a different
like 6
singer,
feet over.
a new
Bam.
singer. But it was still good. Dave Mustaine. No, not Dave Mustaine. What's the guy's name?
Dave, dude.
No,
yeah.
no. They had a new singer. They had
He was
they
the
had a new
epitome
singer.
of the 80s, 90s. That guy. The 80s, totally.
Someone
Like
just came in.
What are the 80s about? Oh, just look at this guy. Oh, okay.
Well, would you come knock on my door? I was waiting for you. What's up, Scott?
I was in the 80s.
So did you?
I'm almost a senior citizen now.
Did you make that bringer of beats? Why does everybody have a nickname?
You can do it too. Look, yours is Bringer of Beats. I'm the supervision supervisor.
Singe Man is the what is
Overt Intel Operations.
Overt Intel Op.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you're overtly a COINTELPRO.
Right. Sometimes you don't need to be covert. Sometimes you can just be
over. yeah. You're not covert. You're in the open. You're overt.
Sometimes you can just be out in the open.
Vice Cape. Yeah, I can
Dude,
pass information with a simple twitch of my eye or a reference towards bird watching.
Nancy!
Or the blowback.
Why is the thing above your head do that?
What
It's-
thing? This?
Yeah, like watch what he puts. No, not you.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
What's he
By the
doing?
way,
Oh,
why are we
yeah,
all wearing
my
gray?
green screen up.
Dude, look, Nancy told us to all wear gray. Nancy's like, everyone wears gray tonight.
Earth tones. Earth
Yeah,
tones.
great.
You know what I mean? I don't like.
Yeah, I don't have
sometimes
my
I-
green screen up.
sometimes I like
This is
wearing
the
bright
big
colors,
thing.
but you know what I mean. I'm not like I'm more of an earth tone type of person.
No, Nancy told you to do it. You just tell the truth, Ray. She told you. She said you got to wear gray. No, I'm talking about Singe Man above his head there, where it says, "How can you live this way?" is the funniest part. No, now there's. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's like blending in.
He has a pretty cool setup now. I have crumbling.
Yeah, I don't have my
infrastructure.
green screen up, so if that's happening.
Bonus spin.
My green screen, it needs a frame. The way I put it up was very temporary.
All right. Well, let's get back to these underwater pyramids because, like,
I was gonna say, dude, how many of those?
Find that?
I want
Or
to.
did you
I want
watch it on a
No,
stream?
he
That's
just
one-
mentioned it. He just mentioned it.
How many of these pictures are real, though? Is my question. I'm just wondering.
But look at this. When I typed in underwater pyramids and I was looking for Japan, look, underwater pyramids, Cuba, Wisconsin, Portugal, Bahamas, Azores. All right, let's look at Cuba. That's way in a different spot than Japan. Look, these are underwater pyramids in Cuba. They're not just in Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that looks like it could be digital, right? Like
Yeah, it looks. It's hard to tell. That's what I'm saying.
It could be a picture of like a fucking clay model that they made on a fucking table. I don't know.
Yeah, just in like a little kiddie pool.
Yeah,
It could be anything. Like.
And
yeah.
then this. I don't know. Like
That definitely looks fake. That definitely looks
Yeah,
fake.
I gotta hear
that
what
one.
Andrew saw in
Yeah.
the sky today.
Like I don't
Type
know.
it in, Angie.
But like, what about this one? Hold on. Is this like NASA bullshit? You know? Is that Mars?
I was gonna say, is that Mars?
You know, it's like I don't know, man. I guess I would. I can't swim, but I guess I would have to. Like, look at this one, Scott.
Yeah, that's
Eyes are red.
no, that's definitely
Hello.
fake. There's no way that's real.
That's bullshit.
That's definitely bullshit. But Ray, you know what was funny when you said that your nickname was Leviathan, and I was like, Ray can't even swim, and they nicknamed him Leviathan in high school. No. Because Leviathan is, he's from the water, and I'm like, that's hilarious.
Well, I got this. San Francisco Public Library, San Francisco City Guides, Ghosts at Flood Building, San Francisco. Let's see.
This building has a wonderful history. Built in 1904, so before the earthquake and fire, giant steel frame building.
Hold on.
It was burnt throughout.
Hold on. Let's speed this lady up a little bit. Where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Nancy, tell her, speed her up, Nancy.
Speed her up. Wait, how do you do it? You go, what? To
Just 1.25. 1.25.
1.75.
No, not 7.5. It's gonna be too fast, dude.
It's way too fast. You don't think? All right.
Yeah, 1.25.
You sure? 1.5?
Yes. 1.25.
I want to give you a little extra. Oh.
No.
In the fire, but of course still held, and so they rebuilt it within. And this place is fabulous. The main ghost in here is said to be a ghost of a thin man dressed in an immaculate 30s style suit, said to be between the 3rd and 4th floor in the stairwell. The night watchman told the San Francisco Chronicle that sometimes he sees this ghost
You're gonna double
on the
bubble for
3rd and 4th floor,
please.
and he hears tinkles of jazz music. That's because he's probably the most famous person to ever work in this building, and he worked for the Pinkerton Detective Agency and became a big mystery writer. And
No, we're
learned all of his
building
mystery writing and his hard-boiled detective background from working at Pinkerton Detective.
They know about this guy. He listens to jazz music. They see him walking around, and he has a history in the building.
That's a pretty big building. There's a small version of that.
It's a
in
ghost.
Oakland.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost.
I'm talking about?
Nice.
Yeah, Dashiell Hammett, author of The Maltese
guy.
Falcon
It's
and the
him.
Thin Man series.
Wow,
So-
that guy looks
that,
bad.
that guy's already a ghost.
In his younger days, disappearing with a whiff of jazz music.
He disappears with
And
a
the
whiff.
quote up above, Dean of the Hard
Scott likes to disappear with a whiff of jazz music too.
What? No, I like jazz. I like jazz. I like jazz.
I know.
and local people, because in San Francisco, people tend to talk up things. That's the New York Times. Its obituary.
He said you'd like to disappear with a
This building also
with
had
jazz
in the building
music.
because it had an interesting past.
It's a little
Now-
dramatic, but I can see it.
San Francisco was already a very large city in 1904, and that's a very large lot. Back here at the Flood Building, to have just empty at Powell and Market, right where the cable car starts. Why would that much space be empty in downtown San Francisco?
I used to take that cable car to work every morning, dude. They used to call me the cable car king.
On that spot used to be a hotel, which was one of the largest in the city, called the Baldwin Hotel. And the Baldwin Hotel was built in the 1880s, 6 stories high, and most of the buildings in San Francisco weren't steel framed. And so if you can imagine, it's mostly like maximum 3 and 4 stories. So to have a wood frame hotel 6 stories high on that entire spot was a giant hotel. What happened to that hotel in 1898?
Who knows?
Any
We weren't alive.
What happened in that hotel stays in that
We don't
hotel.
know.
Down this building.
She's like,
What
what
happens
happened?
there
What happened to
stays
that
there.
hotel in 1898? We have no idea because I wasn't born. You know what I mean? Was it there? We don't
I'll
know.
tell you what happened. Mob.
Fire, exactly.
That's
You have a
total
giant
mob.
wooden
I would
fire.
own that. If I was
Fire.
Wall Street, I'd be like,
No,
I'm gonna
Compass
own
by
it.
fire,
The
and
answer
it
is
spread
fire.
quickly. And they know about, and this happened in 1898.
Had to go.
They estimate
It
that
had to
between
go.
7 and 9 people
See you
died.
later.
But rumor has it as many as 20 people died in this fire. It just swept through so quickly.
That one
And you
had
can
to
see
go.
the shell that was remaining. By the way, these are both part of the, these photos are both from the library archives. And so if you're into old photographs of San Francisco, check out the San Francisco Public Library online because their photo archives are
So-
amazing.
They're amazing.
You know, us mud flood researchers in our research, we find these amazing buildings like this that look like pieces of tech that just had to go. You know what I mean? They just some one reason or other they burnt down. Like
Yeah,
had to
that's really
go.
weird.
They removed
That
it.
re- that's really
There's a
weird.
lot of
Okay,
examples.
well, we don't
What up?
understand what you mean, but someone else might not understand. You mean they had to go so that no one would know
About
before?
tech.
Yeah, about the tech.
Ah,
May-
to
maybe
rewrite
make-
history.
Maybe to
Ah,
make the whole thing stop working. Who knows? Maybe
Right.
maybe they couldn't make the building stop working. Maybe it was still
Right.
resonating
'Cause they were
frequencies.
much more
Maybe it's
advanced
like,
than we
it had to go.
are.
This one has to go. Or maybe it gave something away if people looked into it or whatever. They're like, this one, for some reason or another, they decided these ones had to go.
Because they didn't melt or weren't destroyed.
But yep, there's your before and after shots. And so late at night, the head of security has actually reported that in the Flood Building at night, and it's a wonderful building. The lobby's open 24 hours, by the way. Definitely when you have some time walking up and down Market Street, just duck in that lobby. It's amazing. I go in there with tours of 50 people, and it's like loud, 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 and then you walk in and it's just silence. And that night watchman has reported to the Chronicle that late at night,
up,
you can
Bears?
hear all of a sudden the screams of men, women, and children all crying out and then being silenced at once. So the Flood Building.
The Flood Building.
There's also one other
This is in San Francisco.
building with the
And-
Flood name on it, and that is the Flood Mansion. Has anyone been to that brown mansion on Nob Hill, the original Flood Mansion, which is now the Pacific Union Club? So what's fun
Singe Man, it's in San Francisco. Is that near you?
about this place is it
Oh,
was
4 hours away. It's near Sioux.
I know. it
Yeah,
is.
that's Sue lives near there.
I know San
There's
Francisco.
a
Mud
building
Flood.
like the other one in Oakland, but it's much smaller. It's V-shaped building.
Yeah, San Francisco Sioux Mud Flood Adventures. Sioux Finale.
the fire. After the earthquake and fire became the Pacific Union Club. To this day, it's reported that there is a secret tunnel under California Street that goes from this
I want to live in Mud Mansion.
building to where the Huntington Hotel is.
You know what? Now that he said that, now that he said Mud Mansion. Hold on, I'll show
You want to be a mud millionaire?
No. Mud Mansion. You guys don't know. You guys don't know about Mud Mansion. Let's see.
That'd be a nice shirt though, Mansion.
I think Scott knows what I'm talking about.
Mud
I want
Mansion.
everything to be a shirt.
Everything's a shirt.
Ready?
Yeah, shirt memes. Shirt memes.
Yeah, just make a nice mansion. Mud flooded. They put Mud Mansion. Could make that shirt in a day. Ray is awesome. Andrew says Ray is awesome.
All right, hold on. Mud Mansion. A place where us mud flooders are going to go when we die. A place where we can all just relax. You know, a place where we can all just get along. You know? What's going on, everybody? All right. Well, Mud Mansion. Mud Mansion. Yeah, so
that was Tupac.
Yeah, that was Pac.
That was a pretty good Tupac song.
I like a lot of his music, Scott. You just
Yeah, I don't see some of it. I don't like.
Some of it. Well,
I mean, I feel like it was overrated. You know what I mean? Like,
have you ever listened to any of his albums though? Like the
not
whole
all
album?
the. No, I never did.
they kind of like put the songs out there on the radio that like kind of suck, and then like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Made him look bad on purpose. But when you listen to his music, there's a lot of soul and a lot of feeling in it, and a lot of colors, and he's good at he's good at rapping. He's good, you know, and he talks about real shit. So and he's always
You're right though. The mainstream
they ruined it.
They definitely ruined a lot of good.
You know what I mean?
A lot of good music they ruined.
You know, if it's even real, but and he knew he was gonna die because his last album was called Machiavelli.
Mm-hmm.
And it says "I am alive" backwards. And Machiavelli is someone who faked his death.
Yeah, Machiavelli. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Faked his death. Do you think he faked his death though?
Well, I don't know. Like,
or do you think he did it, or do you think some? I mean, well, I guess he went along with it. If he faked it.
In the movie, they made it look like it was like Suge Knight, but it could have been the CIA because, you know, something like that, or it could have just been like all a big stupid fake thing. You know, I don't know.
Between both, like him and Biggie, I think it was like a, you know what I mean?
Fights and stuff and divide people. I don't know. It could have been all the above. It could have been a multifaceted psyop.
Well, it's definitely a psyop.
But I think the rappers themselves, when they first start out, they're not trying to get into any. They don't know what they're getting involved in, really. Like they're just trying to.
No, definitely not. Yeah, they don't know.
You know what I mean?
Because that's why they're targeted.
We're musicians. We're not rocket scientists.
Yeah, that's what they do. They go after
music, right? Like,
yeah, they want to take those kind of people that are like, you know, musicians that are like just looking to make music, and they're because you're kind of gullible that way. You know what I mean?
But they said that his mom and his dad, like, they were Black Panthers and they fought for like civil rights, and his dad got killed by them. You know, and that's what they said in the movie. And then, you know, so like he was kind of woke because he grew up in a family like that. If you should watch the movie, dude.
What movie? What's it called?
The newest Tupac movie that just came out like I don't know. It came out like 10 years ago or something.
Like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it came. It was in the movie theaters. I don't know what it's. Well, I forget.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but they explain everything, dude. But it's not. I'm not saying it's all true, but
I was gonna say, you think they explain it the right way in a movie? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It was supposed to be. You know, I seen it, dude. I seen it in like I think it was like 3D or something. I seen it in like the special.
No, like IMAX, IMAX Tupac.
Something I did. Yeah, I did. I really.
What was it called? Was it called Pac?
I don't. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think it was called Pac. Yeah.
Maybe it was.
But, and I was going to say that was pretty funny when you were talking to RV and you're like, so we have this thing called the agency, and then we have a red pair. That was awesome. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, man.
Dude, you know what's weird? I never heard him say he was a vegetarian before. Did you know?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I know dude.
You
Listen
rather
to
have
this.
a blue
Listen
bear
to this.
or a red bear?
After I had that conversation with him last night about the vegetarian. Listen, Scott. This morning I woke up. I chopped up a bunch of potatoes and peppers and onions, and I made like hash browns in like oil. Like I fried them with like the potatoes and the onions and put all kinds of stuff, and stuff, right? And I made eggs, but I didn't eat any meat.
No.
No.
Well, you had protein from the eggs.
For breakfast. And I was like, oh, and I had a side of pineapples.
Did you put some cheese on it? You got to put some cheese on it.
And it was good. So at least for breakfast today, I didn't have any meat.
There's nothing wrong with being a vegetarian, but what's wrong is being a vegetarian and telling everybody that they're bad for eating meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
And Arby doesn't do that. I've noticed. I've never heard him say that. So that's cool.
I might try the lemon juice thing that he was talking about drinking.
Oh yeah. I heard him say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I might try that and see how that.
It's good for you. Yeah, it's good to. It kind of cleans you out, like he said. He was right about that.
I need to get some lemons.
Yeah, it kind of cleans you out because it's the acid
see how
and
it
stuff.
works. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try I'll try anything.
What is this Mars rover thing Sims has got there?
I don't know.
What is that?
He probably went to sleep. That's probably his friggin' disappearing thing.
His disappearing act?
Yeah.
I show a Mars rover and I disappear into the night.
That's the current high technology being used on Mars.
Oh, you're still here? What's up?
Yeah, he's still here. You didn't hear him talking? You couldn't hear him talking?
No, I couldn't hear him. My headphones suck.
I said
dude.
that's the current high
I need to get better
technology
headphones.
just being used.
Ray, the most important part is when you hear him talk, it's when you're not talking. Watch. What, Singe?
That's the high technology being used on Mars currently.
The high technology, yes. Very high technology. Looks like I can't even tell. It looks like some kind of like
designed after Turtle Earth. It's a roving.
Turtle Earth,
and it's better than the Mars rover, but they still have to maintain the name. This is Mars rover 22.
22.
This looks kind of cool. Let's do
Wait for it.
This is Jerry Marzinski, the entities who plague schizophrenics.
Oh, I've heard about this guy.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of these videos and they're kind of cool. But watch
the Marzinski guy.
Yeah, now watch this. This is what I do, right? Because it's almost time to go. Oh, it's almost our time to go. Is it gonna play? Oh no, hold on.
Sausage, yeah, beef sausage is pretty good. Who was that rapper? Who was that rapping dude?
That's Ill Bill.
That's Ill Bill?
Is that where
Okay,
we're
yeah.
in? Do we live in a Mandelbrot set? A Fibonacci sequence? Do we live in that?
No. But there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in nature, though. Of course.
No, it could be like.
I love looking at it, but it wasn't.
Be like
I was watching it on
like
the
that.
screen. It was kind of. It was. It
Like,
didn't
see
make
that?
me
See his
stop.
screen? His screen just did it too.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it did
that's when you're screen sharing and you don't have nothing up.
I know, but that's the same thing they were showing. It's just another Fibonacci sequence, right? As I was talking about it.
Yeah.
It's similar. Yeah, similar.
Well,
it trips me out.
I
live in such a matrix.
Guys, I gotta go because I gotta wake
Oh,
up in a
the
few
Truman
hours.
Show talks back to me constantly. You
I
gotta
don't-
go, dude. What are you
I
doing?
gotta go. All right.
You got to read the Bible.
Just you want to be on the show tomorrow morning, Scott? You want to
I won't be. I probably, I might
if
be.
you're awake. If you're awake, let me
Well,
know.
you're starting at 9.
I don't know.
Well, if you go late, I mean, what are you guys going to talk about tomorrow? What was the theme? I was curious.
We have a few. I'll talk to you about it in executive session.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, you could let the people know, though. Hey, we're going to talk about,
well,
what part of the Bible. That's all. I'm just
all right,
curious.
All right, we're gonna have Andrew Havadik on.
Mm-hmm.
he has a couple things that he wants to discuss. We're gonna be
Jenny?
We're gonna be
And
on
Jenny?
Jenny. We're gonna be on Jenny T.I. Murphy's channel and my channel because we're trying to get everybody to sub her. Everybody sub Jenny T.I. Murphy's channel. We want to move that show over there. We want to put that show on her channel every week, but we know everybody's gonna come over here because it has more subs. So
Well, you can always, slowly.
we're gonna do it on both for now, and it's gonna be on Odyssey too.
Yeah.
On my Odyssey, but but everybody sub Jenny, even though we know people have been subbing her and her channel just hasn't been going up, and YouTube stole 30, 40 subs overnight. It's no
They
problem.
did? That's crazy.
She was at 185, and I was like, "Nice, Jenny. Let's push to get you to 200, right?" And
then
then
what-
I even took a snapshot of it and sent it to her. Like, "Look, you're at 185 subs." And then
Yeah.
the next day, dude, she was like 130 something, and I was like,
I heard
it
about
was
them.
133. It was 133 exactly.
I heard that they've been doing more of the unsubbing thing. I heard that.
Yeah, they have, but
Yeah.
but you know what's weird about me is they don't unsub anymore. They just don't let my channel move. It's just
Yeah.
staying at the same spot. Nobody's.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any new subs. I did a huge show last night. There's no way that it keeps telling me new subscriber, new subscriber, new subscriber, new subscriber, new.
But it doesn't show up in the numbers?
It does for like a day and then they disappear.
Oh. This is so weird, yeah.
And somebody told me if you get too many subscribers, all right, like the first day I opened the Levelhead channel, the Boston Ray Levelhead channel,
Mhm.
I had like almost 100 subs. It was like 99 subs at the end of the night. I was like, nice, only one more till 100 on the first day, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty good, right? And then the next day I wake up and it was like 30 something subs, and I was like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, they fucked me.
So like, there's no way that nobody, like, people just unsub right away. You know what I mean? They,
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
They unsub people.
yeah.
And I heard that if you're sub to a channel, well, this is what Bill Miller said. He did some research on it because we were looking
Mhm.
into like why this might happen and things like this. And like, all right, if you know how you're like subscribed to a whole bunch of channels, but there's a channel that you might not watch for a long time, right? If there's a channel that you haven't watched, and
That
went on-
happens, yeah.
and went onto your channel and onto that channel and gave them a thumbs up or made a comment on their video, they'll eventually unsub it.
Yeah, I've heard that before, yes. Mhm.
After I don't know what the time is, but
That's a proven fact. Yeah, that's an actual thing. Yeah, where if you don't engage with the channel,
if
then
you
they
wanna-
just take it away.
If you want to keep all your channels, like at least go and give them a thumbs up on it, like a video every once in a while. Everybody, that's the way you do it, I guess. I don't know if it really works, but that's what
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. Like either comment, thumbs up. I mean, thumbs up the video here or two. And do some kind of engagement.
Or thumb them down if you want. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, right? Yeah,
Fuck 'em.
whatever.
Fuck them. Do whatever you want to do.
Well, I don't know if you want to thumbs down a video, the people that you like, but you know what I mean.
I think
You know?
I think people that like me do it to me on BitChute. It's because I always have like one or two down on BitChute, and it's like if somebody, it's like leave me alone, dude. You get like on BitChute, you get like 500 views, but you only get like one thumbs up. And
Actually, you're probably right. Even if you thumbs down people, they still keep you connected to them because YouTube wants you to thumbs down people. You know what I mean? They want you to be engaged with all the people you don't like.
Either way,
Think about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
they love the drama. They love.
They
the
love.
drama.
Yep,
They
exactly.
love the drama. But
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
Those dogs are so nice. I sang to them. And
I know.
I was playing the guitar, and they were sitting there and they were listening to the music, and they were sitting up and they're listening. Their ears were moving and stuff, and like,
Yep.
And I put their name in the song, and every time I would say their name, their ears would pop up. And there's the one called Breezy that's like a little bit
Breezy,
thicker and shorter, like fatter.
She's the older one. She's the older, and she's a pit bull.
And then
she's more of a pit bull.
And then the other one's Sushi, which is a boxer. And at first, Sushi was like,
Yeah, she was weary. She was like
skid off
weary,
it.
like she's skid.
the other one was just sitting right on my lap right away.
Oh yeah, she's loved.
Breezy.
She loves everyone. She loved you a
And
lot.
then-
Yeah, she likes you a lot.
Yeah. And then by the time I was leaving, Sushi was like trying to jump on me. Give me
Yeah,
some-
she got used to you. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I was a little weary of her too at first because like you never know with boxes, you know. But
Oh yeah, yeah. She's
know.
pretty crazy
Nah,
sometimes.
boxers, they jump up and they box and they get all feisty. But yeah,
Breezy.
they both look like they're the same dog.
Yeah, but
Like,
Breezy's.
or like related or something, but they're not. But they're just the same color.
Yeah, they're similar.
They're similar. Yeah, they're
But-
similar breeds.
Well, they're way more similar now because because Sushi got bigger and she got she's
Oh
pretty
wow,
thick.
she did get a
You
little
know?
bigger from the last time from when I seen her.
Yeah, she's like 3 now. Yeah, so she's getting older.
She's eating.
Yeah, she's been eating too much.
Well, that's what they do when they get older. They stop running around as much and they just sit on their ass and eat, and then they just get fat.
Yep.
But it's all right. Who cares? Let them eat. Feed them. It's they're not here. They're not here as long as us. You know what I mean? You might.
I
as
know,
well,
dude.
You
Dude,
might as
she-
well let them enjoy it.
Dude, she's like 7 or so now. Like she's almost 8 years old. You know, she ain't gonna last that long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at least until 12 or 13. I knew one lady who had a pit bull that was like 16. That was like
Really?
that same color as that, black and white.
That's pretty old. That's because they don't
And
live
it
that
was-
long.
And it looked young still, and it was healthy. And I was like, wow.
Oh, that's good.
I was like, how old? 16? She's like, yeah. I was like, wow. I was like, I hope mine lives that long. But it didn't. It only lived to like 12 and a half.
Yeah,
But-
that's typical. Yeah.
But the one that lives to 16 was black and white like that. So you never know. You know.
Yeah, you never know. Hopefully, if you feed them well and they live a good life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, mine lived a good life. I don't know what happened. I think it was, the thing.
That's their breed. It's certain animals, live longer.
Yeah. Well, like my pit bull was a breed of 2 different pit bulls. So he was like a Colby pit and a Staffordshire Terrier, or
Yeah, the staff. Yeah.
So he was like half red nose and half Colby, right? And when I went to pick him up, I got him from this barn out in Western Mass where there's a lot of like farmhouses and
Was it in a barn? Like living in the barn?
There was a whole litter of them. It was a breeder.
Yeah.
It was a breeder.
Mm-hmm.
They had the mom and the dad, and the mom and the dad were championship weight pullers, right? Like they had all these awards for pulling weights.
Because they're really low to the ground. Yeah, they're really low to the ground. They can pull
strap
weight. Yeah.
weights to their legs. They have like these little weights and they make them pull weights, and it's like a competition, and they win money.
Mm-hmm.
And the really big pit bulls, dude, they could get hit in the back with a bat and they wouldn't feel it. You know what I mean?
I know they don't feel any.
I
Dude,
don't
I
feel
kicked
nothing.
Breezy. Dude, I kicked Breezy in the head one time on accident. She was
Yeah.
behind me.
Yeah,
And I
you
kicked
feel
her.
bad.
Like,
You feel bad, but they don't.
dude,
you just, like,
she didn't even feel it. She went.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
She didn't even feel it.
They don't
on
feel
accident. They don't feel
got
pain.
They got the lock jaw. So if they
Some
lock,
of them, yeah.
most of them.
Most of them do, yeah.
Rottweilers too.
Yeah.
And if they lock onto you, you could shoot that dog dead.
And still will be locked up, yeah.
Jaw will, you have to saw it off.
Sometimes, yeah, it happens like that. If they get into that mode where it grabs on.
Only they can unlock it. So it makes that in some states they call it a weapon, and they make you get like.
Well, that's the thing, dude. They wouldn't even.
They get you, in here. You got to get special insurance to have one. That's why
Yep.
I had to move to like 8 different apartments, and I used to tell everybody it was a American Bulldog mix.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. That's what we did too. Yeah. You have to tell them that it's like a different kind of dog than it really is, because
American Bulldog mix.
yeah, because if you just say bulldog, it's fine. But if you don't say anything about being a pit bull, because lots of states they have like the insurance policy is really bad. But the thing is, though, dude, like people, they fight them, and it's all about how they're raised. It's not about the dog. The dog
Mine was like a puppy until the day he died. He never acted.
yeah, they're like the nicest dogs ever. But these people that treat them like garbage, it's like children. It's the same thing with children. You got a crappy kid. because you raised it crappy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just how it works, man.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you're gonna do your show tomorrow. That should be cool.
Yeah,
you know,
it should be. Hopefully, Andrew's gonna be there. Jenny's gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be there, and
spread the word. Tell the men it's time to read the Bible. Read the Bible.
Yeah.
Read the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good for you, dude. No matter what, it's good for you to read the Bible. And I don't care if you believe in God or not. Reading the Bible is good for you. It's like the best book ever.
We're gonna do something with the Bible, hopefully. All right. I have some tricks up my sleeve. All right. Later. So I'll take us up.
Please don't forget to tip your waitress.
Static Selector. Static Selector. Static Selector.
I'm a walking bad habit, eat tabs up in the cabinet. Savage rap status, vocabulary extravagant. A rock star, popping rocks and bars. Used to flip bud, now this rapping copy a car. No telling, Connecticut felon. I GPS him and find my mark like Magellan. With more lines than Corey Feldman. I never cease to impress him. I cardiac arrest him with every studio session. I'm killing them, no question. Web's back, better hold your breath when I'm rhyming home. I murder beats, I'm Jonah Hex with a microphone. Fiends saying I'm the dopest yet. And haters, I shrug them off until my fucking shoulders sweat. I'm breaking bones, a modern version of Casey Jones. Sword in hand, I'm the winner playing the Game of Thrones. Fuck beef, my rapping style's filet mignon. Getting drunk, fuck your driver, somebody take me home.
Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. I know that I should change, but I don't really think I can. It's just part of my nature, I never cracked and never ran. The world is falling on me when my back was in a jam. I always kept on fighting, that's exactly who I am. And this is who I am, no way that I can change it. I'm buck wild, stupid and dangerous. My best friends are not strangers. These are the motherfuckers I hang with. We speak the same language. And I ain't saying French, English, or Spanish, or Spanglish. I mean pain and anguish. This cocaine slaying and bang bang shit. Mac 11s that we aim with. In other words, I'm rolling with the same clique I came with. On the same list, and fuck being famous. Fame dreams are for groupies. I'm a real life gangster that you ain't seen in the movies. What I mean is I'm truly off the hook. Like a phone in a nursing home, homie. I'm that Boston crook. Take me home. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch.
I damage tracks, so listeners always ran it back. Always with a half ounce stuffed into a sandwich bag. I kill it quickly and always keeping the realest with me. Stealing all the fucking insulin from Wilford Brimley. Diabetes, rappers could never beat us. I've been spitting shit like this since I was just a fucking fetus. Keep your chick with me as long as she give dome. Rolling up the diesel and burning like Jim Rome.
Now I stand here as a man with the past, the inspiration for the kids on the corner, but still got the laugh of a mental patient. The infiltration of the game, born from a central hatred of fame. A pencil shaking with pain, an entrance staked in a claim from the wrath I became. My paragraphs I'm saying are futuristic pictures of the past from which I came. And this is slain with the shotty and the hoopty, son. My whole career's a robbery that they could never scoop me from. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch.
Everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name,
Going through Dorchester to get to Roxbury, just to get more fresher. Going up Mass Ave, hoping to Newberry. I need the new what? Stay in new everything. I got game in the hood, swear to God, everybody know my name in the hood. And the clothes are dope, yes I must say. Threads, animals, Adidas, Johnny Cupcake. Hey girl, come here. I'm one of them boys that be in front of the corner mall downtown crossing. I'm a dawn to calm out, comprende. Eyes like the cigar sign, smoking on Fenway. I never go to sleep, never woke up. Nothing sweet, but I'm dunking cause my donuts. Hi Tiffany, can we date, hun? I'm Mr. Boston, not from VH1. No! Yes! King Spider. There was ever a question in your mind? Who's the best of the beat? Stop it. I'm the motherfucking king. Beacon Hill, I know you got me. I see you, Duval. D-How. Where we at? Sometimes I want to go somewhere, man. You know? Where everybody know my motherfucking name, everybody do cocaine, you know? It's a place like Boston, you know? Beacon Hill, Paul Revere shit.